What's going on? Hey, what's the subject for today?
I don't know, Rich. I couldn't tell you.
You ain't joking because you've been calling me and talking, and man, it's just so much going on. You was laughing all night, talking about the council meeting and stuff, man. Whew.
Ain't it rough?
Man, I'm going down to the city council meeting in a couple of minutes when I leave here, but I ain't in no rush to do no public speaking no more because hell, they ain't listening. I mean, when they voted 8-0 to hire that firm, I think it'll be a minute before I have a request or anything. Right now, I'm just, trying to. Hopefully, somebody will throw some amendments and some resolutions out of the city council. I don't really want that firm to just have its way. And from what I see, that firm finna have its way. That firm can spend that money the right way, and it can keep doing stuff been done throughout history, as in 90% to downtown development. They'll throw 10% to community first to throw a little program or two for us, and have them split that with Burston and the McCree Theater. But the majority of it, they can do what they can do what they want to do, and they don't have to zero balance our water accounts with that. Nick, hold on, let me ask you something, because I don't be all on the news and all that other stuff. Is it really true that people are getting their water shut off now?
I don't know.
I've been hearing that first of all, not less Gretchen Whitmer lifted her orders for no water shut off. Now she lifted that, and he wrong-heartedly is turning off people water and everything. That's a legal bad move.
Well,
but if we are still on that momentum to where you can't turn anybody water off,
right? Because
we still in the pandemic. We in a worse pandemic now than we was in when we was quarantined, and they were sending out all of those checks.
Mm-hmm.
We are, honestly, I think those checks are the reason why we living as bad and as close to the edge as we are now, because I think they had a lot of misappropriating going with that. I know a lot of people that got that money that didn't deserve it, and I know a lot of people that deserved it that all of a sudden, case just went blank. Real talk, like they was in line, said they was qualified, everything was good, and all of a sudden, out the blue, a whole lot of people.
What I should have did was I said, I'm gonna send you this thing that I sent to DeJuan and Brother Roberts. It was with Jordan Sheraton when they talk about, and Charlie LaDuff. Did you see it on YouTube? I've been seeing a couple people been trying to put it on because it made it to the Rise and Stop. It's a podcast. I mean, when they do this on YouTube, the lady was on MSNBC when she told the truth about Hillary Clinton. They fired her, but anyway, she started her own stuff called The Rising, right? They had them on there when they talk about when I was telling you with Dana Nelson, they dropped everything. Yeah, but they said they had low level Democrats from Flint that was in on it. So my thing is,
did they name those low level?
No, they didn't name. I'm just telling you, they didn't. But they said you can go through the papers and find out. They was saying basically why they dropped the RICO Act, but they did it because the state of Michigan would have been fined culpable. But the thing that get me is this, because I'm as I'm talking to you, I'm reading in the council, and I see for Linda Lee Hall said the newspaper basically said one acted up last night, calling everyone names and how he wouldn't sit in his seat. So let's see if they can get some work done today. This is my thing. I don't see the paper. I like how they try to justify when they see the paper. The newspaper always try to make blacks look bad, but Eric did not call all of them knuckleheads. He called certain ones. Now, as far as Jerry Riffy Carter putting herself in that, I thought that was classless because he was not talking to her. Like he wasn't talking to Dennis Pfeiffer. We knew who he was talking to. He was talking to Eva Worthy, Allie Hokenroder, Quincy Murphy.
And then he's accusing of having illegal.
And he was dealing with Judy Priestley too about that vote. See, and then we get people come up. They had a version
that don't live in Flint.
That had it. I mean, really, I like. I mean, you can go with that. I don't live in Flint, but you know what I'm saying.
But you in Flint. Where you at right now?
I'm in Flint.
Okay. Where you be at most of the time?
In Flint.
Thank you. I can't,
And what I can't get.
I can't say that for most of the people in that politics reboot.
Oh man, listen, dude, they having a hard time over there with the white people. I'm telling you. But what I can't see how Linda, and she good people. No, don't get it twisted like I'm dogging her. I believe Flo is good people. But how she always come to Eva Worthing's rescue, it's crazy. And the thing is, we the ones going at each other, the blacks. The whites sitting back having fun, laughing.
And one person is attacking or exposing a white, and another person is taking up for the exposed.
Right, because like how they trying to say, I look at, because I've been looking at it. I ain't gonna lie, go over there and look. But
you review it. You go and you were listening to the council meeting when I walked in here today.
Yeah, I was just going back looking at it. I'm looking at these white people like, damn. They act like they don't see racism, but what's so bad? The reason
they don't understand it.
No, you know why they don't see it? Because we have blacks that try to hold them up. Like, far as what Arthur was, they try to say Art threatened Eva. Art didn't threaten Eva. He said politically, but you got white people in
If Arthur would have threatened Eva, he would have got kicked out of that council meeting.
And will probably be in jail because the black man see.
They can't wait. They waiting to catch Arthur doing something. They waiting to catch Arthur slipping and put some charges on him.
And that's my problem with this whole situation, man. These people sit up here and act like Eva is just good. Like, because she would neatly, we'll have our blacks are still like, we got to let it go. To me, I think, listen, Eva is an evil person. And that Allie Hogan Ritter.
You got to watch it.
Listen. And that Judy, like, see, Judy, what I don't get with her, like,
we gonna have her. You know, I gave her my number. She's gonna call. She's gonna do Flint Voices. And we just gonna let her express. And cause I really don't know her, and I know a lot of people are exactly like me. But I know one thing that I will express to her when she comes to the podcast,
right,
is that we want something on the north side of Flint. And from my observance of her is she's very personal. She take personal experiences and put it in. It's a lot of people hurting in the fourth ward. It's a lot of people hurting in the city of Flint. And for her to decide because of somebody, she had a bad dealing with a person, that's not a good, that ain't gonna kill it as a city councilman. You gotta let that go. You gotta think of the community as a whole. And that's about the only thing that I'm gonna say to her, and I'm gonna let her have her way, because on Flint Voices, I want people to feel free. I want to get to know people. I want people to get their point of view across without challenges. See, that's maybe why Eric Mays take a half an hour to tell you something that he only should have took him 30 seconds.
No, I can believe it, because when you look at it like last night, they all had good ideas, but y'all just gave $1.3 million away for a compliance fine.
And why y'all want to have good ideas after y'all done paid somebody $1.3 million?
No, this is the cold part. Did you know the compliance firm did not even know they were supposed to be a part of the meetings that they was having? They found that.
Now you see why I'm sitting down right here in front of this microphone instead of downtown at City Hall.
Yeah, because it's been so much lying going on, misinformation, man. But they want you to go along with this. My thing is, they was going hard at Weaver about it when they were seeing what she was. They didn't justify her. But if you notice, only the blacks, man, we go at our own hard. Because, I mean, didn't you say Quincy was supporting Dan Wiley?
Dan Wiley?
How could he support Dan Wiley when Dan Wiley pointed the whole thing?
Well, at that time or whatever, and then it's still the same circle. I heard last night that he said something about he's trying to make Neely look good.
He didn't say nothing about making the people of Flint whole, though. He said, but remember, he said he didn't want Eric. See, don't get me wrong. I know Quincy cool, but I just think him and the rest, I mean, as far as him and them blacks, they want to go like they mad with Eric. But when they had time to ask questions, I asked how many who asked questions. Don't none be really asking questions. Allie Hogan wrote only want to come in and see, like, but I kind of see what Eric be saying. She only want to come in and like try to make like blacks is, we not intelligent or something.
Man, especially me. She gonna try to don't fix something that ain't broke. I ain't even trying to compare the two. And I'm talking about when I said zero balance the water accounts, she talking about it's a phone number that you can call.
Man, because they, what, like Eric said, they all right giving the money to the fat cats. And they said, just like, we're going to go back to this, and I don't understand neither with this. You sent the person up there, and you had Allie, all of them. The white said she wouldn't qualify, but anytime Mr. Black come up there, the whites come up there, they
rush them through.
Yeah, they rush them through. When
they rush the white. I'm gonna just be real. Let's talk about those. You gotta listen to Liddell Lewis' excuse for not giving those Flint employees $2.4 million. She said she ain't have enough time to investigate.
Man, no,
you got then hold on. I'm gonna let you in after this one.
Right, go ahead.
And then you can finish up. And then you got Quincy Murphy saying he ain't gonna give them no money because ain't nobody giving Hurley no money. You can write a resolution and give Hurley some money.
But that's my thing. But did you see where the brother was on there when Judy Priestley, they was asking for the 300 and she said Flint did that. Do you notice they always got excuses when it come time to help the poor? But when it come time to get the rich money that ain't helping nobody, they give it to them.
Man, I just seen a project, and I'm not gonna say what project it is.
Right.
But it looks good. But in the gray area, when they talk about the financing,
right.
Seeking grant. Why is you boosting all of these people up when you got, man, it's like 2 pages of seeking grant.
Right.
How is you, first of all, if you are the city of Flint with all of this money and all that stuff, it shouldn't be no seeking grants. You should have already secured those grants and then start distributing them. You shouldn't have organizations out there seeking grants.
Well, you finna see the great steal finna go down. This is what you see. When I didn't understand, like you have been saying, you was the first one I want to say Eric was following your suit. When they showed that they didn't need the compliance firm to spend that money. And the compliance firm basically.
But they voted 8-0 for the compliance firm.
But because I believe somebody getting a kickback, allegedly. I believe there's some kickback going on, meaning if they people, they go, because in that money, they can go to people, nonprofit organizations. Just follow the money. Just see where all this money, see where them hyper funds go to.
I want to see what happens when Eric Mays put a resolution out there. I want to see if the Quincy Murphy, Liddell Lewis, Allie Hokenroder. I got it right. Allie Hokenroder put an amendment on something that Sheldon Neely sent up there. If they were smart, they would make me look bad. They would get in their little private meetings and say, right. and say, this is what we want, but I'm gonna write it like this. So Murphy, this is your chance to sign. You correct that. Allie, this is your chance. You correct that. Liddell, this is your chance. You correct that. I hope y'all listening, but at the end of the day, I want to see the north side of Flint taking care of with those funds, because the north side of Flint is the reason why they got most of those funds. Those funds came in there because of the hardship that the citizens of Flint was having. Those funds came in to aid the citizens of Flint.
They came to help downtown Flint.
If they can figure, and then really they don't even got to figure through you got to remember, Rick Snyder done got away with messing up $267 million in the name of the water crisis. So they can legally mess this money up and probably won't nothing happen to them.
Is you going down to city council?
I'm going when we get done with this.
I would ask you if you could have been, because they already doing the public speaking. I would have loved for you if Liddell would have asked Quincy, is y'all going to get W.T. Stevens paid? Let's see if some of their counterparts like Allie Hokenroder, Judy Priestley, and Eva Worthy. Because when Goyette comes, it'd be 8-0, 9-0. They all vote for them. Let's see if they're gonna vote for some blacks.
Let me say something about Goyette.
Come on with it.
Goyette ain't that bad.
No, I'm just saying.
They just happen to be on the right side. But as
what you mean on the right side? Because they was getting money up under the
that's what I'm saying. Right now, everybody got X'd out with them. It was a whole lot of people helping the city out under the Weaver administration that is no longer doing anything.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And Goyette is still there, but as people,
right,
they okay. As people, I'm okay with them. No, as a person, I'm okay with Quincy Murphy. As a person, I'm okay with Liddell Lewis. But when it comes to Goyette, if the upper man that got something going on with somebody that's allowing this to keep, and then too, every time there's a grant or anything, it's gonna be somebody to get it and somebody that don't. The question of it is it really right that you gave the right person? Just like voting. Did you really vote for the right person? Is the right person really sitting in that seat?
But what Flint's showing you is a micro concept of the Senate up top. Just think about it. Let's go with this. I'm going to use it on this level. When you get a Republican-controlled Senate, what they do everything the prior president did, which was a Democrat. Then when you get a Democratic control, and it's like you had Weaver, she was feeding people. Neely got in, he cut people off. So what happened when the next person come in? Neely people gonna get cut off. So we're gonna go back to still hurting the blacks, but we're gonna keep the white companies gonna still be able to get money.
I don't think all the Neely people are gonna get cut off. Because the next mayor, the two people that I know running for mayor,
right?
I think can win.
Right.
I don't think they like. I mean, some people going to be casualties of war because sometimes, especially when you coming off of a heated election, and this election is going to be heated, so it's going to be somebody. Just like a whole lot of people was, Neely ain't this, Neely ain't that. As soon as he won, they taking pictures with him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But then too, is some people that that dude shouldn't have won, and my man shouldn't have won, and they may cause problems to where whoever getting in office, they have to get rid of them. They may be like that lady that was filing all those charges that people lied and said, Karen Weaver lost those court cases, and she didn't. It may be some people like that's gotta go, but overall, they're not going to clean house.
You think you think the new mayor, just say if it's Antoinette,
he's not going to clean house.
So you think he'll keep like the state people, that's the Lansing people around and Neely brought in?
That's a great question. I don't know who he'll keep. I ain't saying he gonna. I know he'll keep people. I don't know what people he will keep. I'll say myself, I'll have to do some serious examining. I would not personally. I don't know that man, but I would not hire anybody that's wanted to get that firm that didn't want the city to have. I would.
But this is what I want to do.
I would not hire. That chief finance officer.
Would you keep?
He replaced.
Oh yeah, I definitely would replace him. I would definitely replace him.
Yeah, y'all know who would be the best chief finance officer?
Who?
Eric Mays.
But he a council person, so we can't go.
But he can't do both. I wish he would let that council seat go.
But answer this question.
And help our city get our financials right.
Don't answer this question. When we had Newsom in there, that's what I'm saying.
Listen.
No, answer this question for me. When it was the black CEO, when Weaver had it, why did they want to act like Kate didn't come?
He was a Republican too. He came from Lansing too.
Who, Kevin Newsom?
Yeah.
That was up under Weaver?
Yeah. Sabuda was a Republican that was already there under Dane Wally, as I think. Am I right?
I'll have to go back and check.
Cause I was just getting into the moment after the election with Buddha. I was like, I don't like that guy. I was just couple on like, I don't like that guy. And then that thing, Art started, so Buddha gotta go. And then I said, that's why you don't like him. But our witness, see, this is the difference between this administration and the past administration.
Talk to me.
Let's just go with the CFO.
Okay.
They got Republican ways. Like that housing program that saved my house.
Right.
Newsom wasn't for it. Tired to talk. Some of those budget decisions, Newsom wasn't for it. Him and Eric made some changes. That's not happening now. If the administration sends something forward and it's gonna put us $1 million in the hole, guess what?
What?
That's how it gotta be. Take this garbage contract that all of a sudden we real silent on.
Yes, sir.
They ain't even picking all our garbage up.
Well, you gotta blame. Oh, you know what? You can't blame that.
They're not even picking all our garbage up. What they saying?
They said only 5 council in there. Neely with Neely. They said Eric already on it. He's already out of control. Then you finna go down there?
I'm on my way down there.
All right, well, people don't leave. I'm just finna put on city council for a minute. I'm gonna put on city council. I'm gonna mute our mics, and you coming back, ain't you, Rich?
Yeah, I'll be. You know what?
I already muted the mic. Oh, your mic ain't muted, Rich. Hold on, let me go back to you.
It's off, so we good.
Okay, all right, let me play city council. I'm just looking in the comments, man. They tripping. They said Eric.
When I spoke to the state was that the city had paid a company, one of the contractors,
doing road restoration
on addresses that was not excavated. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah, like I said, they ain't even worth me being down there early no more. They ain't gonna do shit. I ain't
sidewalks, grass.
I'm just waiting to see.
Why would they say that they did road restoration on houses that was not excavated? Speaking on that, the city paid them, and the state saying that they're not going to reimburse the city. This is what I got from the state. So I was looking to see that part right there. But my main topic is blight, ARPA funds, land bank, and the banks. Last night I was over at the board meeting, and the fire department came over to the board meeting and said that they was going to fine the schools if they didn't board up their schools. Yes, the schools are unsafe. I totally agree with that. But to step to the podium and make it public without speaking to the superintendent, the mayor could have called the superintendent, the fire department could have called the superintendent.
Hey, Kevin, that's the guy in there. He doesn't live in Flint. Why is he talking?
And they didn't. They made it public like they did. The land bank just got 600 houses from the city. And in the ARPA funds, the city is getting ready to give land bank, the county, money for houses they own.
They spend them funds quick, ain't they? I told you they already were doing.
Giving money to a county that received $79 million also. Why do we want to give them money for something that they own?
Clyde looking at, I'm looking just at Clyde, like, Clyde looking at Arthur Woodson like he wrong.
It would be like you giving me money to fix up my home, which the city hasn't done. The city hasn't given any residents any money to fix up their homes from the ARPA fund. But you're going to give the land bank money, then you're going to fine the school board, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Willard, I think they have governmental immunity, just like the land bank. And they say that we can't fine, can we fine, they say we can't fine the land bank for their properties because they have governmental immunity. So the school district also has governmental immunity. So going over there saying that we're gonna fine the schools was nothing but a political ploy because they don't go after the land bank.
Hey, he went after my shit today.
They don't go after these banks.
You ain't see where they went on Dayton? They took the tour bus, they took his buses and trucks from over there, they told his shit.
But you want to go after the low-hanging fruit.
Go right on.
Have nots. That ARPA fund been sitting there since May 19th, 2021. And the people have not.
Well, you take a shot at the king, motherfucker. You missed the shot at the king, you fucked.
We see all this money being spent, but it always goes to the big organizations. They always give it to the big organizations, and then they use the foot soldier organizations and tell them to volunteer and go with the people and bring them to us. That is sad. That is sick. And the mayor promised that he was going to work for the people. I have not seen the mayor cut one ribbon on the north side, east side, west side, or the south side. I see a lot of ribbon cutting downtown. I'm not saying that we don't need a vibrant.
I put it on this page. I got it off of art. When he said,
but he's supposed to be all of the city of Flint.
When you take a shot at the king
of the city of Flint.
What do you think about that?
It's a lot of red.
That's dirty as fuck.
In this budget. So the ARPA funds, if we spent money during the COVID, and
I got 26 motherfuckers tuned in on this page.
It was during the COVID.
Ain't that
some
some
of them
shit?
COVID related. Couldn't
When
we
you take a shot at the king, you better make sure you hit the motherfucker on the dot.
Back into our general fund.
You know what the king gonna do?
COVID?
Put pressure on me
No,
right
I'm just
here.
asking. It's just a question.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Davis?
So would that change
What's going
what
on,
we're
bro?
looking at right now as far as everything being red?
Oh, okay. Yo, man, I just called to tell you, man,
just hope and pray
I ain't feeling that. I heard they came over there and
the
told
city
your
of
stuff today or yesterday.
Goes after the county and make them spend money. That's $79 million that they got. They didn't use one dime for the city of Flint. Matter of
Man,
fact,
you know, Eric got Eric got my house saved, right?
They act like Flint.
They came over there talking about they was gonna tear my house down. I was like, ain't nothing wrong with my house except I need a front porch. Well, I don't know what
they actually
what
said
talking about. Yeah, talking about
part of the county. Now, how many people have?
They ain't finna move in. They ain't finna move in on me.
Ernest and Young, are they gonna go over there and tell the county?
It's gonna be
Hey,
some
listen,
bottle bombs.
the city of Flint is part of the county.
Sure, I know how all these houses ain't standing up no more. I know why. I know how to break a brick house down.
Until they come up and say, hey, listen, we're gonna match.
Believe me, they're gonna lose. Believe me, and I know my phone may be getting recorded, but believe me,
at least do that.
They're gonna lose some heavy equipment that's around with me.
Match whatever it is that you are gonna give for their property. Matter of fact, let's take it another step further.
They've been there with they
tell the land bank if you have to clean up the houses
they've been
that
there
you
with
just gave
and
them,
they don't like being called
you
out.
want those properties back, or you want part of the money that they're gonna make off that property. Because once it goes over there to them, we don't get anything. Matter of fact, Miss Cherry told y'all when she came here, when they sell the property, they make about $5 million. And it goes to their books. They making money off of our property. They own like about 67%.
And then set Flint up to get paid while he out of town.
So the city of Flint really belongs to the county. Y'all need to seriously use leverage or whatever it is. Don't give them the money if that was the case, we could have kept those 600 properties.
Man, you know I had to check on you, man. I just seen that. I was like, man, let me call Mo and let him know I'm with him on that, man. But Mo, you gotta help me.
I mean, that's the craziest thing in the world.
I gotta start putting that sidewalk, trying to get people to make a movement on this, on this master plan, because they got us going in so many directions right now. You know, you know.
Thank you very much.
They got them Harper Funds conversation. They got the Ajax conversation. They got the redistricting. It's a whole lot of different conversations going on in that.
In this
and
public
that master
hearing?
plan is just being implemented right under our nose.
Mr. Woodson, you might be the only member of the public here today. Anybody else want to speak in this public hearing?
What they need to do come against us. And ask the mates what they're doing to him. He can't get shit through.
Does anybody else want to speak in this public hearing?
You know it. You just said it. The master plan.
Yep.
Hearing none, the public hearing is closed.
We ain't gonna, Maurice,
Based
I
upon the
was telling
agenda,
you from day one.
I want to allow
that
follow-up
water
remarks
settlement
regarding this
was trash
preliminary
from
budget.
all administrations,
I want to
including
allow
Karen Weaver
remarks
administration,
from
because
our
she should have been
finance
demanding
chair,
more
the
money
city
instead of tucking her tail. She
council
tucked her tail
president.
till.
Tanya Burns, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I appreciate you being here, Mr. Whittigan, our CFO,
Hey, but look, the white
city
people,
administrator, Mr.
the
Clyde
white
Edwards,
people
and
finna
Mayor
get $50
Neely for
million.
being in attendance. That was definitely a
And that ain't even,
very brief overview.
that ain't even the family
we are
where
in
the
the
kids died with the black people, and they
there's a
can't
lot
get
of
a
things
good
that we are still
representation.
catching
That's
up
from
to
the white,
speed on.
that's from one of their neighbors that's
I would like to
$50
see
million.
more in depth. I know this is
Ain't nobody in the Flint
preliminary
water
and that the
crisis
numbers will
getting
change
$50
and
million.
fluctuate. But I believe a presentation I would like
They
to
want to
see
give us
more.
$1,000
We
for
do
our
not, as
house.
I addressed in
That's gonna
yesterday's
repair
meeting,
about 3 pipes.
I would like to see according to the charter so that we get a better view or purview of what's going on. And according to section 3-208, regular departmental reports, so that when you come to this point, we already know what's going on.
If I make
What
you
is your
aware and you
department
just let it
head
happen, at
goals?
least you can
What are
say,
their
I told you.
budgets? Where are
Just
we
like I
at? What
told
is that
everybody,
we
y'all
can do
need to
to
stand
help
up
the
and start voicing
administration
y'all
to
opinions
be
about this
successful,
water.
which means the
Did
city is
nobody want to
successful.
stand up?
And I'm just not feeling
They
that.
finna start shutting people water off
We
next
don't get
week.
department heads coming here to explain or to tell us, or just to brief quarterly, a brief overview, and that's per the charter. There are some things which are concerning. Legacy costs. We know that legacy costs has been extreme. It has been a problem for years. The last time that I actually saw some figures, we were underfunded by $400 million. I'd like to know how much we are funded properly in that account, and are we in threat of having the federal government take over that? Because there are retirees who are worried and concerned about that. They've did their jobs, they've worked for our local government municipality, and that means they may lose half their pension. They shouldn't have to worry about that because we are not being transparent. The public wants us to be transparent, and we need to make sure we're doing that. Because we all need to tighten our bootstraps, and a lot of us have been through that. If you're still here in Flint, you've lived long enough to go through something. So that's something that we need to, I would like to speak with you or to put in our box. I need to know what legacy cost is. What is our proper funding for it? How much are we underfunded? Are retirees in the threat? Also, the wind fund account. That wind fund account, if we're looking, and we've been listening to your department head, Mr. Mike Brown, and he had stated that he needed the first 11 million, then he needed 13 million, that those projects were underfunded. Those projects being underfunded are a serious concern because I believe he was doing the Miller Road project. So my question would be, how do we start a project and we don't have the money to complete the project? Why are we starting projects and we don't? And what happened to the money? My understanding that we have approximately 20 to 25 million in the wind fund account now, and that has to be spent by the end of this year. I would like to see a list of the projects that the wind funds have been used for. And I believe you should have a list of those. Those are things that we need to know. Also, if we're falling short with the wind fund, why are we using that? And I'm sincerely hoping we're not using ARPA funds to fill that gap, because money, we don't know where it was appropriated at or what happened. Mr. Brown has come and spoken a couple of times at council. He doesn't know where that money, but to fill that gap, from 11 to 13 million, ARPA funds is for COVID relief. Our water crisis was not derived out of that. Our water crisis was something else. Those wind funds should be used for wind funds. ARPA funds should be used for COVID relief. So we need to make sure we have some clear communication and transparency, because we have got projects that people are at their homes and restoration has not been done. We've got people with driveways, the aprons of them have not been done. Their sidewalks have not been done. And we currently don't know how many pipes still need to be replaced in the city of Flint. That is a problem. We are 7 years into a water crisis, people being poisoned by lead, and we don't know how many restorations that we still need. These are things that we need to see, because now that we have approved for Ernst & Young, a compliance firm, and I agree with you, and I understood clearly when you said you didn't have enough staffing to properly handle the ARPA funds because this administration wanted to make sure. And I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And so did council, that I believe we voted unanimously to give you that support of that first year of having Ernst & Young. But we have to have some clear transparency. And we're just not getting that. We're not getting that. But before we spend that money, I'm really concerned about the wind funds. Those wind funds, the ARPA funds should not be used to cover for the wind funds. The residents of the city of Flint should be able to use that money for them. It's for relief for them. It's for relief for the people and for employees who work and live in the city of Flint, not because if we mismanage money in the wind funds. I know we could go on into this with depth, but I do appreciate you following the charter by giving a very brief presentation. I wish there had been more in depth because we do have questions. I mean, we have technology, and that would have been nice to have that.
I'm gonna send it to you.
But I mean, it's unfortunate that this is what we're getting. And my last part is with the legacy costs. Are we kicking that can down the road because we're not showing it this year? And it looks like we're going to show it on next year's budget, that we will be paying into our legacy $40 million per year, which for over a 10-year period. That's huge for the city of Flint. And how are we going to make those payments? That is a serious concern and conversation that we need to have. I know that this is an election year. This is very political. And I feel residents have a right to know without being hoodwinked what's going on, because we're kicking that can down the road. We have the 40 million that we're going to have to pay next year. Why are we putting that off next year temporarily? Residents need to know. We need to have better preparation. Mr. President, I'm going to conclude with that. And like I said, I appreciate the administration being here. I appreciate you giving this brief presentation, and I will conclude with that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, that takes us down on the agenda to final council comments. I think it's a shame that we have such a small group here and we couldn't get 5 out of 5 votes to allow a deviation. And even the administration, include Mr. Neely and others, if we needed communications. I will talk about that from now on. Mr. Murphy, final council comments. You got the floor.
Thank you. I just heard my colleague, Councilman Burns, give her spiel on her report on what she think the administration should be doing. What really concerns me, and this is not my first time bringing this up, and I want y'all to hear this. You guys are elected as chair people over different committees. The finance, you the chairperson of the finance. So my ideal of what the finance chairperson should be doing is, and I remember the administration extending the olive branch. I don't know if this is still there, and hopefully you are, Councilwoman Burns, meeting with them on a weekly basis or having some dialogue. Because everything that you just said, I'm thinking in my head, why, as our chairperson of the finance, why aren't you meeting with them and having all of these discussions with the administration prior to coming to the council meeting? Because everything that you just said in your speech, it sounds as if you should have been having this kind of dialogue with the administration prior to coming to the council meeting. So I don't know if you guys just don't have a communication going. And if that is the case, that is concerning to me. If the administration have shut down communication with the chair, the finance chair, what is going on? Because all of what she just said sounds like those questions could have been the proper, to me, the proper procedure would have been to write down, as the finance chair, to write down these questions that you have and concerning in all of that list that you just named. Because like you said, this is a political leader, so we have to watch, be careful what our aim game is when we get behind this mic, because we are elected officials too. So we can have attentions and we can have an aim game as a council person to paint a picture to be something totally different than what it is. So I am really concerned that you are the chairperson of our finance, and then you are asking all of these questions in a public setting like this, as if there is no kind of dialogue that you can have with the administration prior to coming to this meeting to ask all of those questions. But if there's a problem and it's not your problem, Councilwoman Burns, and if the administration problem where you guys are not meeting with her, I think that's a concern to me, for her to have to ask all of these questions in this kind of public setting where you guys can't have any kind of dialogue to give her the answers that she's asking, that she just asked right here. That's my first concern, because some of us here to try to make sure that we get the work done. And if I got some questions, and I'm finna conclude, I want to first thank you, City Administrator Clyde Edwards and the mayor, for whatever process that y'all have. When I found out I wasn't doing it right, and when a constituent had a complaint, I turned it into our city clerk, and they sent a referral to Clyde, and whatever you doing out there and giving it to the department heads, I'm seeing the difference out in my community. That's what I think the proper procedure is. So I appreciate it, and whatever it is working for me. So I'm just asking in this public hearing with finance, that if we have a chairperson that's the finance chair and she don't have a communication with the administration or the finance director to ask all the questions that she just asked, that's a big concern to me. And I would like for, could you please answer that question? Is you guys not having an open communication with her to be able to answer that? I would like to know that question.
Point of order, Mr. Murphy, if you want to do that, you might want to go through the chair. You want to also look at what Ms. Herkenrode voted no on. And so if you don't want to follow that etiquette in this public meeting with me, I'm going to move on. Now, okay. Do you want to follow the etiquette, or you want to ignore the chair?
I decline to.
Okay, then I'm glad you declined, and we'll talk about that in my public comment. No, you out of order right now. That's what you are. Ms. Herkenrode, you got the floor. I'll come back to you, Ms. Burns, and I'm sure you have something you want to say in final comments, particularly after what we just heard. Ms. Herkenrode, you got the floor.
I just want to say thank you so much, Mayor Neely, Mr. Edwards, and Mr. Whittigan for coming and following through on the charter and presenting this. I too would have liked to have seen a little bit more in depth, exactly like what my colleague in the 6th Ward mentioned. Most of us are still new. We're still trying to understand where we started, how we're where we are and where we're planning on going. I don't anticipate this being the last conversation that is had about this budget. As Mr. Woodson also mentioned, there is a significant amount of red, which is of concern. We want to make sure that we're able to help the city for the long term and being able to be creative with that. I got to be honest as well, since we did not receive this document until less than maybe an hour ago. There's still a lot of processing and digesting that I personally need to have with this, but I anticipate having more questions in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Piper, you have the floor.
Thank you. I believe we received this document in December. So we've had this for a substantial long time. So just to clear that up, I believe you sent that in on the date as required. So just so the public's aware, to housekeeping on that. This is a somber and disappointing reality that we're upon ourselves in the city. There's a lot of red, and I'm afraid that with the $8 million transfer that we're proposing is just, it's almost like it's financial trickery to kick the can down the road. I hope that's not the case, because one day we're going to have a come to Jesus on these numbers, and that's going to be a scary day. So as long as we can, push that day off, I'm all for it. But we need to start putting processes, we need to start putting savings into place, so that is a less of a heartburn that this community faces. And I know that we're not having dialogue, so hopefully I can get some kind of communication from you, Mr. Whittigan, but this does not include any lost revenue in ARPA, correct? Thank you. So that may be a little bit of a saving grace, but I think we need to come together with the administration and this body to work with these numbers, work within the perimeters and the dollars that we have to obviously keep the services going in the community. But we need to make hard decisions, whether it's cutbacks in the administration, whether it's cutbacks in street or wherever else, wherever we can find those cutbacks, we need to start implementing them before D-Day comes and the forecasted 23-24. So I look forward to working with this body and the administration, because these red numbers are scary and they are a truth that's coming down the pipeline. So I appreciate you guys coming. The presentation is what it is, and thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Piper, you snuck one in on me, and I guess you snuck it in on Ms. Herkenroder too, because there was a vote to stick with this agenda. And I just said something to Mr. Murphy about the back and forth, because I want people to learn what they vote on and what they hinders when they vote a certain way. Ms. Burns, you've got the floor. Final council comments, and then I have the final word and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to say in closing, and with my colleagues, like I said, we did meet the deadline with having the documents submitted, which was December 6th, and according to the charter, that first Monday. And Mr. Whittigan did make sure that was emailed. And so there was communication with him, and I actually put it on record, and he did comply with that and said he would meet that deadline. I don't like the back and forth. That's not me. And for you, Mr. Murphy, I want to be clear with you. I have no ill intentions. I address each person in public because this is a public job. That's my choice, my decision, not yours. I make sure that I am transparent. I do, however, I don't have to give you this response, but I do email them and I do call. And I'm still waiting from department heads and certain emails and questions to be answered to this day. That's not on me. But you don't see me, I don't live a Facebook nor social media life nor do I play out in messiness. I just simply don't do that. I take the city of Flint very serious, and I don't come back. You will see me come here and be cordial. I'm still waiting for documents back from Mr. Edwards, and I have emailed him. And I've emailed Mr. Whittigan some items. Like I said, we still have a lot of things that we have to learn. We have not yet met with the staff yet, which we need to meet with the entire administration to have that. We're new. So when I don't like how we come in here and we think we're coming at and checking. Please don't come in here and check me. I won't do that with you. You could have texted me, called me. I'm directing my questions to the administration. I've worked with the administration. And one thing is that I take my job very serious. I don't work or treat this like it's a part-time job. This is full-time for me with overtime. And I'll continue to treat it that way because I care about Flint. That is my passion. That is what I care about. But I will never say to people, I don't do that. I haven't gotten back, they haven't gotten back with me. No, I have told Mr. Whittigan I will contact him personally because there's some things that him and I both have to sit down to go over. We were just elected and didn't get sworn in, I believe, the second week of November. And then we came upon the holidays. So this is very short term to take up a lot of these things. The legacy cost, Mr. Murphy, I've been working on and been concerned about that because I work with a group of retirees. And you see, you don't know everything about my life. And I've been working with them. So this has been over the past 4 or 5 years that they're concerned about their retirement benefits not receiving them. And one thing people will know when it comes to the police, that is something I'm gonna stand up for every day of the week that ends in Y. Because they have did their job, they protected our community, and now that these retirees, inflation's going up, they are concerned about their legacy costs. So this isn't specifically this administration, but this is the administration that has to answer to that because they are the current administration. We shouldn't have to ask. They should be presenting it to us. That's why I asked about coming to us quarterly. That's per the charter. I wouldn't have to ask this if this administration brought these department heads to us quarterly and they let us know about their budgets. So this is the time, this is the place in the public where I have to ask this because for me, my life has been played out on Facebook. And for me, I have told people as part of my promise, I will be transparent and I will do my best to keep it professional and to keep it classy. And I think I have done that. And I'm gonna continue to work to that goal that we make sure that as the council, we're working together with the administration. If Mayor Neely is successful, the city of Flint is successful. That is my goal. That is my common goal. I don't care who the mayor is what I'm saying. I don't carry any baggage. I don't do that. I'm too old and I've lived long enough to go through something. I don't do meth. My goal is the residents making us healthy, whole, so that we can move forward. I want good policy, good procedure, and I want good business brought here. And if it's anything outside of those perimeters, Tanya Burns is simply not interested. I'm not. So when it comes to that, I want to be clear. that has nothing, you're reading something that's not there. It's simply not there. And at any time, just like I've called you, you can pick up the phone to call me, and that's it. This is work, but people know. And one thing I can honestly say, when I look at this administration, and I know that they're down to a carcass crew, that Clyde Edwards is probably one of the hardest. He's here longer than anybody else. He is usually the last person to leave the building because I knew him before then. I knew him for probably 15 years ago. We worked in a separate building, and he would be the last person to leave when I left, because we both had a business. So this is, let's take care of the business like grown-ups for me. And there's no ill will. I come here because I want clear, transparent questions. And I hate that I spent my last time doing this, but I don't have that. That's just not me. It's not. Thank you, Janelle. I did hear the timer.
I don't know nothing about a timer. Are you finished? You can continue.
I didn't know if it was.
You can continue.
Thank you. So I just want us to say that as we work together as council, and my colleagues look over this, that we have to work with this administration, because in this budget that we have, it's some very real issues. And there's no way that we can get past this to help the city if we're working against each other. It's just not going to happen. No one will be able to say Tanya Burns is holding this city back. You won't get that from me. And I believe that my other colleagues are concerned because they really dig into some stuff. I don't comment on everything. I know a lot of them really go through everything by a fine-tooth nail, and that's what we're supposed to do, is we figure each other out what our strengths are. And that is my hope, that we can all leave the nitpicking out of this and work towards it. This is the financial, this is the budget hearing. I'm supposed to talk about what affects the budget at this time, at this place. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Now, I'll make my final comments. As president of this Flint City Council, and what happens on this council and how it happens, in my opinion, reflects on me. What happens in this city fiscally, in my opinion, reflects on me as well. Because in my opinion, Mr. Murphy, and to the council and to the public, the city council controls the purse strings. I must repeat that again. In my opinion, the city council controls the purse strings. Money will not be allocated to any area without council approval. The budget will not be amended and or adopted without council approval. I'm in my 9th year on the city council. And I've been in council meetings watching council people and mayors in this city for over 30 years. Mr. Murphy, I didn't appreciate what you said publicly to the finance chair.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna see the
This meeting looked like, because of Mr. Murphy, will be adjourned for a lack of quorum, but it don't have to. So I want him to get up and leave on my final comments. And the reason I want him to leave, because the charter says as long as it's been posted, 3 or more can gather. Now, I'm not like Ms. Burns. I've been dealing with ignorant council folks for the last 8 or 9 years. From the day I offered Mr. Murphy an appointed position as a chair, he turned it down. Now he's gonna criticize the finance chair, and I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know if he wanna be an appointee, Mr. Neely. Maybe you got a spot for him now that Murdoch is gone. But I ain't studying. It seemed to be ignorant. It seemed to be constant. And now I'm not going to put up with it. I know politics, and the city of Flint know me to be in politics. I don't bite my tongue. You don't have to guess what I'm thinking. It's been a demonstration of ignorance from Mr. Murphy. Constantly, since he's been here. Ms. Herkenroder, I'm watching close. 5 council people, a no vote on an agenda.
You going on the conversation? 6 o'clock.
I've seen council people come and go. I've seen mayors come and go. This particular budget talks about a $56 million revenue.
You just sit down.
56 million or so in revenue, 71 million in expenditures. You can nod your head if I'm pretty close, Mr. Whittaker. And so he nods affirmative. We've got work to do. Mr. Neely, Mr. Whittaker, we will have hearings. If Ms. Burns ever said to me or any chair that there was a lack of communication from any department, from legal to finance, I would get involved. And so Mr. Murphy, in my opinion, tried to chastise you, Finance Chair Burns, and then kiss up to Mr. Neely because maybe he want to be a appointee. We are a co-equal branch of government. We have certain duties and responsibilities, and we must carry them out. We are in a political arena. You got a lot of politicians. I watched this past election. I've seen illegal literature in a variety of awards that put some people in office. It will be addressed. My point is, we have subpoena power. We have the right to put people under oath and get good information. I don't know where he's coming from. I don't even care where he went. But I want to demonstrate and highlight constantly, because that's my politics, Mr. Piper, the ignorance of certain council folks, while 5 or more try to take care of the serious business of this city. So I appreciate the presentation, Mr. Whittaker, Mr. Neely, Mr. Edwards. If it's something you want to add, feel free to do it now. If it's nothing, then we gonna move on, and I'm gonna continue to highlight. And I don't know what y'all doing with Mr. Murphy. Maybe y'all talking to him, and I don't know about it. But he sure felt like to praise y'all in a certain way and down the finance check. I remember when Darrell Buchanan was on the council. Next thing you know, he was city administrator. Maybe he wants your job, Mr. Edwards. I've seen council people move from upstairs to downstairs, but I'm not going to have it.
We with all that.
I'm not going to have it. I'll call council people out, and then I'll try to find 5 or 6 to get the business of the city done. That's how I'm going to roll.
We love all that.
It ain't going to make no bones about it. I expect cooperation with this administration, and the minute that we can't have it informally, we'll do it formally, particularly in the area of finance, public safety, and blight. Is there any more business that need to be talked about in this meeting? Ms. Wheeler, you fine? Madam Clerk? Council people, administration, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
For real, got to, nah. Motherfuckers will call you like that shit.
So moved.
It's been moved to adjourn. Is there a second?
Yeah, I don't know. I keep telling people, like, man, I don't tell people, man, dude, I'm through telling people that
We don't have a quorum, but in the spirit of adjournment, thank you, Madam
ain't gonna change nothing. Everybody tell, we gotta vote. We gotta vote.
Attorney, but the point is, we can post the meeting.
Man, make them change some stuff.
Yeah, all that.
Niggas been voting since the 60s.
Hey, that's what I
Ain't nothing changed.
Hey,
Let's talk that.
that's why I told you that big and it bleeds. Let's go down there and put some motherfuckers in the headlock.
That's all right.
Close the door.
Y'all see they disarrested some people that went down there for the that was marching for the votes on the Capitol yesterday. Martin Luther King the third. Hey, okay, you see
Martin Luther King the third. Because they was marching.
Yeah, but you see how they
was marching. They should have. They came down there and arrested them. It should have been all out. It should have been all like, no, we ain't going nowhere. We gotta march, bro. We get arrested,
because they don't want them on the Capitol. That's just like the Black Lives. Just say it was black.
So because what I'm saying, if you go to the Capitol, we already know they don't want it. So if you go there, what's the use of going there? We just going to march? I mean, marching at the Capitol, we don't do that for now.
But what I'm saying,
What you saying, we gotta have a strategic chess.
Yeah, we gotta have a strategic.
we
Gotta have strategic.
because remember this.
Because we not doing what they not doing what the white folks. They got militias, they train, all that.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the grocery store. We don't call no firemen. We don't know how to fire. As soon as the grocery store is low, what you think they're gonna do? They make the bullets, they make the guns. You gotta go to they stores to get the guns. Just say they empty the store so you have a good week's worth of shooting out with them. Then when that pressure comes, them motherfuckers send some drones in and knock your whole neighborhood. They showed you they sent robots in. Look how they did my man in California when he was knocking on police down. They sent that robot in and blew his ass up. You know what I'm saying? You know,
What you just said, look how they did that man.
yeah.
It's one person again. It was never numbers. You don't never got the numbers.
No, because
You
you know
never got the
why?
numbers. Niggas pussy. You never got the numbers. We got that.
Hello? Hello?
Come on, straight up on her like these. Just like, don't say a word, just walk up on her like,
Hello?
Walked off. Black girl grabbed a toy, sat down that bean bag. I said, yeah, she took what's hers. It's our land. We created America. We built it and everything. We begging for what's ours.
Y'all lied, though, bro.
Yeah, we lied. Y'all heard us. Y'all heard us on here talking about it, man. Stop begging for what's ours, man.
Right.
It's our land, man. I don't know if they heard. I was telling them that I shared a video.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, Brother Roberts.
You hear? You
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Brother
on
Roberts on there?
Yeah, Brother Roberts.
Okay. I was telling everybody about this video I shared on Facebook, man, about the little girl.
Okay.
Little girl. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. I don't know if they gonna be this. They ain't probably gonna be to see it right now, but it's on my page. But this little girl, little black girl, the little white girl was playing, sitting on the beanbag playing and whatnot. And the little black girl come up, no words. I guess she just knew what was hers, and there wasn't nothing to talk about. So she came up, she walked up to the girl on the beanbag,
Okay.
and didn't say nothing to her, just looked at her. The white girl get up, leave all that stuff there, and gave that black girl her rightful place. This yours, I ain't got no business right here, no way. I don't understand how that little young girl got it, and all of us don't get that.
Mm-hmm. So it was a little girl's bag for her laptop?
No, the point behind it was this was her. She felt that was her position. You know what I'm saying? And her thing was, I ain't got to say nothing to you. You know what it is. Get up. You know what it is.
Clarity.
But yeah, we still begging in the country that we created. I'm confused on that. We still begging for in a country that we built. We still thinking votes gonna change something.
Okay.
We've been voting forever when they give us votes, and then they take it away when they want to take it away. 1867 to 1877, I shared that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We had 11 people in Congress, 11 black people in Congress. Republicans, remember we was Republicans, black folks were Republicans. For those that don't remember that, black folks were Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So from 1867 to 77, we got 11 people in council. 11 black men sitting in seats making decisions, right?
Right.
So the white folks decide before the new votes come in 77, they like, look, we not, and they verbatim words was, we not finna allow niggas to run the country. So they said we gotta find a way to get them out of here.
That's where you can hear Brother
Get
Roberts
rid of the
talk.
votes and anything like that. So we gotta find a way to get them out of here. And so one of the ways they did, of course, was persuade all the white men that their white women was gonna be, that the black men was gonna be trying to mess with the white women, and they was like, this is a threat. This is a threat. So they started killing all black people.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let them vote. If you showed up in the voter line to vote, they would kill you. You know what I'm saying? So they by threat and by force for the longest, they done took from us by threat and by force for the longest.
Right.
I ain't necessarily, like I said, I ain't necessarily just an advocate for just all out violence, but at some point, if it ain't getting done right, we gotta take it back.
No,
I'm confused.
You're absolutely right.
But no, we ain't doing that. We asking and begging for it back.
They ain't hurt enough, right? I mean, you get tired of asking people who ain't gonna give you nothing, then like you said, you take what you want. Right? This whole America was built off of lies, but them also taking what they wanted.
Took what they wanted from the country.
So I think in a nutshell, what we saying, you know, it ain't no time for us to keep asking. Like, I'm tired of begging. You remember when Pac said it best, like, man, first we asking and begging and plead, like, man, listen, I'm hungry, right? Come on, can I have something to eat, right? And then you come again, hey, I'm hungry, I'm trying to eat, right? You know, we out here left alone. We out here trying to fend for ourselves, right? And we ain't had no resources in the beginning.
Your mic on?
I don't know.
Turn it on.
Can you? Oh, ain't nobody been hearing me though?
Because you turned it off.
I did.
They've been hearing you.
I've been talking like crazy. Nobody heard a word I said. I was building too, man.
He was talking,
man.
No, you up.
We was rolling too, man.
Yeah, no, it's going hard tonight.
Oh, I'll turn it
on. It's live and yours.
No, yeah. So back to what he was saying. So now y'all can hear the brother, man. The thing is, though, it's not like we asking no more. And it's like you better get in the mindset and a position to take what you want. And I agree with that, man. I don't know why we feel like, man, our oppressor's gonna do anything for us.
We still beg
sometimes, you know, we look like We look silly trying to ask them to do something for us. So, and that's where we are. So my thing be, when we talk about we don't want to vote, we don't want to do those type of things, then what are we planning and preparing to do? Because you got to have a system in place.
Yeah.
So you buck the system, what you go
Well, all
put down?
right. Well, what first thing, what we have to do first thing is first we got to get our people. Our people to come to the understanding that look, it's gonna take us to move, and we gotta move as a unit. First, you gotta get our people to get out of the fear. One, because they let you tell somebody that you bucked up at an officer, and your own brother look at you like you crazy. Yeah, what? I had that happen. I told you what happened. I heard it officer trying to grab me, and he didn't know. Like, man, what's wrong with you? And he like, my sister looked at me like,
had him on the wall.
Yeah, my sister looked at me like. I'm like, see, that's the problem, though. Everybody think about this badge. He was in the wrong. He had no reason touching me. He was in the wrong. And his partner knew that, too. Like, you in the wrong. You got no business putting your hands on me. If I was doing criminal activities, that's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got a case against me. But you in the wrong. You got no business putting your hands on me.
Right.
So what we have to do is get out of that fear. And I know it's been put on us for, decades. For almost going on 500 years now, we've been dealing with this fear. Dealing with that fear of retaliation, what's going to happen to us. And the reason we do, because when you go back and you look back in history, if you go back and you look in history and you start to seeing all this cities or communities that was all black that got destroyed where the whites came in and just demolished it.
Yeah.
Why they do it? Because they wanted it. You got one city in Georgia that they just flooded, put it underwater. And now people ride their boats over it, fish over it, and all that type of stuff. Why? Because they just didn't want it to be there. They just didn't want it to be there. So we dealing with an entity, we dealing with some people that's willing to act like that. And all we willing to do is march, pray, and vote. That's it. So yeah, they not scared of us. Because who's scared of you marching, praying, and voting? And I'm sorry. I love Martin Luther King. I do, right? But before his marches, they would sit down with the president. You sit down, the right hand was sitting down with the left hand, getting permission. Can we do this? We're going to do this. Can you come down and make sure we straight on this and on that? Of course they're going to let you do it. Yeah, we'll let you march. Yeah, get down there and march. Malcolm X ain't do that.
Yeah.
Malcolm X won't go asking for permission. That's our problem. We got to get from asking for permission for stuff that's already ours.
No,
we built the country. I'm so confused. And we can't just change the world in one day, not like that. But if we go community by community, so let's just talk about Flint, like I've been on. Let's just deal with Flint, just Flint itself. And it's something I spoke about yesterday with the men's meeting. In Flint, they poisoned the whole city. They poisoned the city. I was incarcerated when this happened. So I didn't get to feel the full effects of how this was going, but I was incarcerated while this was going on. So they poisoned the whole city, poisoned your kids, poisoned your mamas, poisoned your grandmothers, poisoned everybody, right? I was just confused on why I wasn't hearing like, oh man, the whole city of Flint was down at the water department, beating down the door. You know what I'm saying? Or the whole city of Flint decided they finna go down there and go holler at the governor. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or the whole city of Flint downtown, all in the streets, and it can't nobody move down there because these people, they just poisoned the whole city. Right. And we talking about long time life effects. But you will blow my head off for bumping into you. I get my head blown off for that. Just for bumping into you, stepping on your shoes or something. I'm just confused on, on where our mindset is right now. And that's why I think that's where we got to start off is getting our people, our mindsets back, man, where we understand, like, you a king, you a queen, you a warrior. Come on now. This is yours. We was in America on this land, on this soil before they even thought about coming here. We did this. Right. But we let them take it from us, man. I'm confused. All these gangsters, killers in the city, man. Man, I'm confused.
And speaking on that, man, we be ready to go to war over nonsense versus standing up and stuff. So, I think me and Pete were talking about this earlier, in the hip hop world, right? You got your music, you got folks out here doing music. And they taking away their same folks, man, that could do something to change those situations in those communities. But you still got folks like George Zimmerman walking around. You got Kyle Rittenhouse out here. And we want to be so tough and so strong on each other, man. And you know what I'm saying? They killing us on a day-to-day basis. We ain't got enough in us to go ahead and say, like, we're gonna put an end to that. That's crazy. And that just really make us look weak as a whole. That's like want to go get buff on a female versus, you know what I'm saying, dealing with a man on that level. We be doing that type of stuff.
All the time.
And then you wonder why we don't get no results. You wonder why we in this position, we still talking about voting. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm tired of voting too. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm understanding that's the system though.
That's the system.
That's the system that's for democracy of election and getting people engaged or your leadership. You gotta have some system.
But that's it. We gotta have our own system. We gotta get our own system because the system, we keep trying to get aligned with the system that we never gonna be a part of for real.
Right.
They're not gonna let you. They're not gonna never let they're not gonna never let black folks have that control. That's not happening. Not in America. That's not happening. Not as long as we keep trying to align with them. You know what I'm saying? Brother Roberts always eloquently say, we keep wanting to be white folk. We want to be white so bad. So we can't line up with a government or that they already created with the idea that we not gonna ever make it be in the rulership of.
Right.
They already made that clear. We'll let you get so far. But we'll knock you, we'll remind you, you ain't nothing but a nigga. At the end of the day, we'll knock you down.
Yeah. No, that's
man, at the end of the day.
So it's like, man, we got a number of series of issues when we talk about black people problems, when we talk about where we at, when you talk about what we want to see and change the circumstances of what we're dealing with. You know, enough of us ain't upset enough to go ahead and go out there and be the change.
Of course,
we need more people that's ready to go ahead and be out there on that front line and make a difference. And unfortunately, it's just not a lot of flow out there. Like even when you talk about even the movement in the last 2 years, man, we had the perfect opportunity, and we still do to continue to keep moving legislation, but then also change the systems, right? But we got to get on one accord. It's not going to start until we on one side and we say, like, this is what we're going to do about it. But then we actually put some footwork out there and we roll up our sleeves. And man, it's like, it's tiring. Because you got in a city of 90,000, you probably got like 10 people who really ready to die for what we believe in. And that's simply is a good number. It's good to have folks who believe in it, but we need everybody to be alive.
Everybody.
That's where we fall short. It's not a lot of us that's out here moving like this. And so we don't get those wins that we look to get to. Or like when I say like a voting system, if we want to have our own democracy, then we got to completely pull away from being Democrats and these fake Republicans, and we got to really look at it from an independent level, from independence. If we're going to create our own party, we got to be able to have some standards about that party, but then also we got to really be able to move on it. A lot of people are Democrats because their mom and their grandfather told them to, right? You ain't never ask yourself why you're a Democrat. I don't think nobody really kind of asked that self. Why
I didn't even really know the history behind Democratic and Republican until I really started reading into those type of things. Like, so even before then, all I would hear in black households was Democrat. So in my mind, even though I didn't know much about politics, in my mind, I was just a Democrat.
Right.
Because all black folks I knew was Democrat.
Right.
Then once I started reading and learning the history behind it, I started trying to figure out like, whoa.
Right.
Why this happened?
Why we claiming Democrat, right? Why do we claim Democrat? Right? When them the same Dixiecrats that'll sell you over and won't even fight for your issues. These fools having a hard time getting the voting bill passed. The John Lewis voting bill is still hung up in the rings because you got people. First of all, you got fake folks who posing as Democrats. Them people just claim the deed just to be able to get the votes, to be able to get in position. See, sometimes those are the problems too. You got all these fake Democrats that's around here running around, even in our community. You got all these fake Democrats. We got from every level trying to fake and shake and really just do our demise. They're not really fighting for us. They really don't do the work that's going to benefit us. So we got to get that understanding. They really come around just to get you to vote for them and just pacify you with some small.
We had some of these seats that came and came down here and made promises, said what they was going to do. And on record, asked them, what we asked them, are you going to sell out when you get down there? Are you going to sell out? What happened? What we see going on?
You see a bunch of selling out going on.
And we talking about our own brothers and sisters though. We all talking about our own brothers and sisters.
So if we all gonna be like this, we might as well just sell the whole farm there. We might sell everything out. We might as well just say forget it, man, and sell everybody out, man. You know what I'm saying? What stop you from caring? Like when you say like I'm tired of caring, like you know what I'm saying? When you really say that, like and that hurt. But when you really say I'm tired of caring and really started putting the effort in, and then you start choosing to work and act like the oppressor.
Yeah, that's sad.
What's becoming of us as people? And so unfortunately, you know, that's what we be dealing with. We be having even our own people be a problem too. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard some of the conversation earlier.
Man.
I'm looking at city council, man, I'm just disgusted with all y'all over there, right? You know, some of y'all be trying to work, some of y'all just be on some bull. Like, man, some of y'all, I see y'all, you know, rubber stamping and doing all these different, you know, placating, and, you know, you just in the way. Right? And ain't nothing gonna change until we put some force on folks. Like, you know, I'm at a level now where it's like, you got to really start stepping up. You got to strike fear in them. Just like how they tried to strike fear into black people back in the day. If you don't strike no fear in them, if you don't start moving them, if you don't start be vigilant, if you don't show up at their front door, you don't show up in the chambers, nothing is gonna change, nothing's gonna happen. They're gonna keep looking at you and playing you like a sucker.
They did. They put fear. They put fear in black folks. And then right, any whites that aligned themselves with black folks, what happened to them? They got treated like niggas, right?
Shout out to the John Browns of the world. And let me say this, man. Big shout out to some of the John Browns of the world. Some of those white folks that's really like, man, forget this, man. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm not gonna sit up here and allow y'all to do folks like this. I'm gonna stand up and stand vigilant for something because I'm gonna use my status for a purpose, right? And I respect those folks. I respect anybody who can do that. But what I don't respect is these soft liberals. Like these folks that proclaim to be down with the mission or they down with the movement, but all their actions seem to go against it, or they stay silent on issues that matter. You know, one thing that boils my blood when we be in a Black Lives Matter page and we make a comment about something that's going on, and then you got all these other random white folks who ain't never commented or stood up for nothing. They said shit. Now your ass gonna come on here and sit up here gonna talk on Facebook like you mean something, you want to stand up for something because somebody say something that you don't believe in, but you go bring your silly ass out there on the format to go ahead and say this, like that shit is weak, right? And how dare you come in a platform like Black Lives Matter and come in there and speak something that don't involve you or you ain't did nothing to change. Listen, that's where I get a problem with them folks, right? You know what I'm saying? They just seem like they just be on, it's about an issue. If it's always something about some lesbian or gay rights or something, they definitely on board about that. But when it's a brother that's trying to make a difference or a business is being discriminated against, or you got folks that's out here, you know, still trying to get a voting bill passed, or you got people who getting peanuts for a water crisis settlement, y'all asses ain't saying shit.
$13 checks. $13 checks. You got people that actually got $13. So that mean that they told you for $13. I'm sorry, I poisoned you. I might have messed your child mind up for the rest of his life. Hopefully this $13 carry you and can fix that. Take this $13, get them therapy, mental health, whatever needed with this $13.
Yeah.
But you still got lawyers. This is why I be confused about the people in Flint, because you still got lawyers.
They beg it.
Let the people get played. If you
because we know who poisoned us.
Right.
We know what they got.
Listen to this, man. Listen to the citizens of Flint. If you want to get played, you want to keep getting a runaround, y'all keep letting stuff take place to you. You don't want nothing out of life. You don't want nothing. You don't want to change this circumstance. You ain't mad enough, right? So I say if you're gonna be satisfied with $13 settlements, you're gonna be satisfied with settlements that render you a used truck, or you know, you get all these attorneys paid for, and then you get the peanuts. Like, you got to be a fool. And I'm just saying, like this is how people get played. Like and you know, to be honest with you, if I'm looking at it from the other side, if I'm looking at it from a different sector, listen, if you like getting played with like that, then we're gonna play your silly self. And that's how you get done. And don't nobody understand that it's gonna take some real change to make this stop. Right? You just can't come in there and you can't just protest all the time. So you know what? That's why you won't catch me at a protest doing this stuff no more. right? Because the thing is this, man, I'm so tired of just sitting up here walking and stumping and kicking feet for something that everybody ain't mad about and ain't trying to change. Like we just in this bind. We find ourselves in the middle. It's like playing ping pong, and we just the little ball just getting hit back and forth between Democrats and Republicans, and it's just so sick. You're getting played because folks in position, they really have the flow, they got the resources, and we ain't got nothing. But we sit up here crying about nonsense that go on here, some petty stuff over here in this neighborhood, but we ain't trying to do the things that's gonna elevate us to get in position. We ain't trying to change the leadership that's in that leadership that's downtown right now. That's really just ain't doing nothing for you.
Okay.
Look at our city.
Mm-hmm.
Look at our schools. You want to kill the city, kill the education.
They did that.
That's been done. You want to kill the future.
They did that.
There's no economic opportunities. Ain't nobody working in Flint, right? You know what I'm saying? When you talk about work, you talking about establishing the economy.
You gotta go outside the city.
You gotta go out there to Holly. You gotta go down there.
Where do you work? You gotta go outside the city.
Brother Robinson, he over there waiting on y'all to bring him in.
My people from
He in, ain't he?
Yeah, he waiting on y'all to let him talk.
Oh, go ahead, Robert.
Hello?
Like, you know, Brother Roberts got the flow.
Well, no, I was just listening to you guys. You guys had it going on pretty well.
Can you hear him?
Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Roberts. We hear you.
I'm looking at him. I can't.
Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello?
I was saying that you guys,
Who's it?
Go ahead.
Huh?
you know, I was kind of agreeing a little bit with, you know, everything that had been said. You know, I think a lot of times we keep going over the same thing, and I think the real solution is action. You know, as the brother was talking about earlier, you know, historically we can identify a lot of things that have happened, but now it's about doing the work now. So, you know, how many of us are not going are going to not show up at work? You know, when you talk about change, how many of us are really going to step up and say enough is enough? Not support these Arab stores any longer, not go to work, not participating in this system, because collectively what they are really doing to us right now, and don't nobody want to be a black American.
I'll tell you what. Are you located here? Are you in Flint Lake?
Nobody wants to be a black American. So what they are doing right now with this whole voting and everything, the only thing that we are going to be used at is entertainment. That's the only thing black people are going to be used for in this country, as entertainment and as fodder to get shot and killed. That's all we're here for, is for white people's entertainment. And unless we are willing to change that narrative by stopping this economy, the only thing that we got is our power, is our money, and we need to stop spending.
That's it.
Okay. How you get this contact?
Oh yeah, that's it. We definitely got to pull away our dollars, man. We already know that we account for so much of the wealth, and it's confusing that. I was speaking on that yesterday, and I've been stopping at a few at these gas stations, because like I say, and stores now, and hollering at some of the owners. So like I say, like I was told before in the yard one time, older brother told me, he said, man, sometimes you got to appeal to a person's humanity and see if y'all can come with agreements first. If not, then you go about however you feel need to be moved. So I started going to a few of these gas stations, particularly one Carpenter and Saginaw, because I frequent that on the way home, because I take Bray Road all the way out to Clio. So particularly that one, also as one of the latest. And one of the things when I go in, my thing is for them is to ask them, like, okay, you've got so much money from the community around you, the projects, the drive, Ridgecrest, all that back in that area. You made so much money off that. What are you going to do from this point on to give back? Like, we need drives, we need drives for the kids for book bags, free book bags. They should have hats and mittens, coats, all type of stuff. Because you got people that grew up over them neighborhoods since they was babies. Now they in their 30s, and there was the stores they frequent their whole life. So you think about the money spent from each individual just in that one small gas station. But they not giving back a dollar. You don't see no barbecues. I brought up Dado's when we did at Dado's market this summer. You know what I'm saying? The barbecue, the free food, and how they open their doors and stuff like that. Yeah. Like just little steps at the beginning to show that, okay, you're right. We care about the community that done supported us for so long. And the thing is, now if you can't do that, you can't come up with support, and that's why I called out the men in Flint. Because if they can't come up with the support, then we supposed to be in front of them doors and not letting nobody go in. Mm-hmm. See that? So they don't make no money. Man, that's gonna get done with or without the guys that without like I said, with the men's movement on Wednesdays, men's meet trying to get guys to come out. I'm gonna do me with or without y'all regardless. You know what I'm saying? And how it go, but. That's my stance is like, okay, at some point we got to be like, look, even if we can't convince you to stop spending your money at this place, then we just going to be there to shut it down. Like, nah, y'all can't come in here. Not in here, not today, man, because they don't care about you. They don't care about how long you been spending money. I've been spending my money here for 10 years. Well, you can't get $5 back.
Brother's going to be walking through the back door to the store, man. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to say that. And he'll be like, okay, yeah, for sure. Go through the back door.
I'm muted. These are the moves that gotta happen. And so
let me say it again, because my mic is muted.
Go ahead.
Listen, when we say that, we stand in the front door, locked in arm to arm, won't let nobody come in. Brothers will come in through the back door on you, right? Just go get a pack of smokes, man. Play the lottery. Get a pack of get a 6-pack of Idlewild. Say eyes. You know what I'm saying? Big Bear. We be doing that silly stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man. I see it on the record. Man,
you can't even go in there. A lot of y'all you go in there, you buy a pack of Rellos, lease, whatever you have. You can't even get off with the nickel. They want that too. You got to go, no, man, I need to come on. And y'all I'm just confused. You got these stores in all of these neighborhoods.
They put it on your tab. Now you got the tab at the corner store, right? You know what I'm saying? You go $100 to the corner store. No, to be honest, man, this stuff, we laugh, but it's serious. So this is how we live.
You're
getting bamboozled. Mm-hmm. You're getting played through politics. Mm-hmm. You ain't got no money. You don't own nothing in the community.
Not nothing.
We don't own nothing. We fighting about peanuts that folks is getting, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have no school to send our children. We don't have freedom schools in our neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. We send them to the oppressor. They didn't shut down the public school system in our local area. Mm-hmm. Now we send them out to the outskirts. Man, we ain't got no leg to stand on. We discombobulated people.
Did you just see how they condemn the Flint schools?
And then you got Sheldon Neely going on there condemning, sending representatives down to the school board, condemning Flint schools.
We already know
building is terrible.
Neely ain't for Flint or the black folks in Flint. Y'all voted for that. Y'all voted for that fraud.
Let me say that the buildings is condemned. I'm not even gonna hold it. There's no way that we should have not invested into these schools all this time. So that's our fault. But Neely, don't come down there and try to go ahead and put a play down there to get to the school board to get some dollars going your way, and so you can go ahead and revert them to somebody else. That's us as a community. This is where we fail so many times. We do not invest into our young people. What do we really do for our young people in this community? What do we really have for them to say, I'm excited to be here in Flint. I'm excited to be a part of the progress of this robust community that I live in.
I'll show you what they did. They built the juvenile detention center.
They put a $30 million juvenile center together in a city that was affected by an epidemic with a water crisis. Mm-hmm. And all our children and youth gonna be affected, and they gonna be down there in the juvenile center here soon. Right? Mm-hmm. And I bet y'all gonna be crying and like, yeah, where Black Lives Matter at? You know what I'm saying? Where this and this and that? Where we need some support. Let's go walk. Let's march from Flint down to Lansing and see if they give us some support. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This stuff is really crazy how we moving right now. It's not ideal at all. And when you look at the movements of the past, you talk about Martin Luther King. We always talk about he had a dream. That brother had more than a dream. And he was sick of y'all too, though. You read about the Martin Luther King after the Birmingham jail, stint in jail. You read them letters that he wrote to them 8 clergymen, right? You read about how he felt about how them black churchgoers, them black pastors. You read how he felt about them. None of them came and got him. Nobody came into his aid.
They still.
And then you wonder why people who be on the front line be looking at y'all who sit up here fighting for your cause, fighting for you to have a better life, fighting for you to have some type of rights, some equality, be treated as a human being. And you too busy to be sucking a bottle, smoking squares, standing in front of the stove to ever stand up for something that really means something to us. You got to be out your mind. You don't want nothing.
At all.
You don't want a damn thing. You just want to cry. You want to cry about some stuff. You want to whine and just sit up here and hope somebody drink them tears. Ain't nobody listening to you. You elected all them folks down in city council, and now them folks sitting up there don't have no sense of competence on a level where we need to be as a city. Look at them trying to make the mayor look good. The mayor's too ugly to look good. Y'all gonna sit up here and try to make this man look good when folks is just dogging you behind the scene. And the poor constituents.
Ain't got no more fighters, no more warriors.
They ain't got nobody to believe in.
Man. That's you think about the slave trade.
As a young brother in the city, I can't even believe in y'all.
Yeah,
I'm dead at. I don't have no belief. Maybe I might be big, but I just don't have no belief in the system. I don't got no belief in the current leadership, and I never did.
Can't no belief in the system.
I don't believe in what we going through, because if they took the children of Israel for a 3-day trip,
40 years,
to wander in the wilderness for 40 years, we already been wandering over here for 500 years. You keep wandering over here. 500 years, I wonder where we be.
If it ain't right, we gotta get it. We gotta get it right. If it ain't right, we supposed to move on that, man, and step up. We supposed to be moving and stepping up on that. But it's a call out. It's a call out to everybody. It is a call out to everybody. You bringing up the pastors and who's supposed to be powerful men of God. They ain't got no power though.
Man, ain't nobody going to them churches. Y'all need to shut them churches down. That ain't nothing but a waste of space.
Yeah, it's too much.
Sell that property. Let's get some money. Right?
Get some money. I was talking about this yesterday though. You understand? If you go by False Avenue Church, go by False Avenue. They got the whole block. They got a whole block. Look at the neighborhood though.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Come on, man. And the people gonna continue to give and give.
I wonder why these.
I'm coming up in the churches too. I've been talking to the pastors. I'm going up in churches too.
Do you want to know why these pastors are stepping down? We got pastors stepping down left and right. I'm glad y'all stepping down. I ain't even go home. Right?
But you
get off of that post, huh?
You know, Flint still gonna get paid while he's not here because he set that deal up.
That's how y'all.
That's why they can leave. You know,
they already got it lined up. Got the money lined up.
Y'all go hire another.
So he can take.
I'm a part of the hiring process too. I'm getting paid.
From the city. Yes, from the city that he's leaving. From the city that he's leaving from. He gonna still get paid from a city, so that's even more money leaving Flint that ain't coming back to the gym for the kids. Come on, man.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest.
It's not about the kids. It's not about the community. It's about pockets.
Everybody listens. Everybody scheme wherever you can get off at. Right. I'm just gonna tell you like this.
Hey, Lion, they want to be mad at these young boys out here scamming. We got to be big getting scammed. The pastors is big as scam.
You better get your rocks off. You hear me? Yeah. I'm just saying. Like,
that offer plate going around 3-4. You get a lot. You ain't get a lot of credit at church.
Nick, you gotta control that.
Brother Robert's trying to talking over each other.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Brother Roberts.
Brother Roberts, you sleep over there?
What we really got to do, put your microphone on. What we really got to do is.
Go ahead.
Because I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, just go ahead.
I'm reading his.
What we have to do again, guys, is we really got to be working to be holding these people accountable, man. I mean, it's going to take the efforts of the community to step up and be willing to sacrifice. I mean, that's the key. Just like everything y'all been talking about, you know, we gotta start a fire. Got to start a fire, man. You know, that's what's got to happen, man. We got to start a fire. And those people down in city council, man, we got to set fires, man. And some of them people got to be burnt alive, man. I mean, that's how, you know, it's unacceptable when y'all talk about what Neely is doing. Just like when you think about, you know, those cannabis, you know, how we are underrepresented. You got these marijuana distribution centers, and we don't own the majority of those. You got our community is 80% black, and you got 100% of white judges down at the Superior Court.
Oh, man,
Got all them white judges down there and all they're doing, and all those people are Trump supporters. So again, what we gonna have to do, guys, the whole thing, we ain't heard nobody being picketing. Nobody is picketing no more. It is about boycotting. We gotta stop supporting this system.
No,
we gotta
Brother
find
Robert,
ways.
you said something.
Go ahead.
I can hear the last part.
He said, "Go ahead." He told you go
Now,
ahead.
the thing is, man. So even look at them courts. Look at the courts we dealing with in 67 and Circuit Court. Man, that's a clown show down there. All the judges down there, we don't got no black representation. These judges so out of bounds. They don't understand what's going on. You got brothers in this community. You got black fathers, right? And I said this on I made a post about this. Man, they ain't had nothing but white folks come in here and talk about, you know what I'm saying, trying to say that they on some 67 district court. Man, y'all go to hell. Listen, the thing is this, though, man. Listen, you got a lot of good brothers. You got a lot of good brothers, man, that's really trying to do something in their children's lives. But then you got this court system, Circuit Court, like folks like judges like Chris Christensen and all them other clowns down there. I sit up there in the way, man, and I'm pleading to the sisters in this community. Listen, even my children's mother, man. Listen, man, we got to be better people. We got children. We are responsible for that. Meaning that these are our babies. And they ain't got nothing to do with no court. Forget the court order and be more in favor of the stipulated order that we come together and we make sense for our children. We don't have to sit up there, had a course in the space. In my case, right, I done paid these attorneys for for joint custody and legal custody.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Man, these fools ain't did nothing. I done had 3 attorneys doing 3 years. Seen 2 judges, right?
More money.
And still nothing happens, right? And everybody know I'm in my children's life, man. You know what I'm saying? My baby and everything.
I told you, I wouldn't know your kids if it wasn't for them being with you. I wouldn't know.
So if I'm gonna fight about some stuff about folks that I don't even know about some issues, you know good well, I'm gonna fight for my babies, right? And I will burn that court down for that, right? So you got brothers who really wanna do something and really wanna be about a family, want to take care of their children. I encourage us to be better co-parents. Even we ain't with the mama, and sometimes it be like that, right? Okay, we had a good time, the relationship is over. Let's be real. But we had a kid out of this. With that being said, it's me and that person's responsibility to take care of that child. It's the parents' responsibility to put plans together for those children. Forget about yourself. Stop having an ego. Stop sitting up here crying about what the other person did in the relationship. They cheated. They treated you terrible. Well, you was with them, and then one night you must have had a good time because something happened, right? And now you got to deal with each other for a certain amount of time. So you better make the best of these situations instead of getting all these other folks involved. People down there, them clerks down there, them clerks downtown.
Okay, how you doing, man?
I don't care nothing about you or your kids.
Huh?
I don't care nothing about you or your kids.
They don't care about none of that. All they doing is making money off of
yeah, well, we're gonna do it on Zoom.
Hey, Brother Riley, put yours on mute.
See? They try. I had a judge on my custody.
Yes, sir. I sure will.
I won custody. The judge was trying to tell me what I should be doing, how I should be doing. I had to cut her off. I said, nah. I said, I don't want to hear. No, you can't tell me what to do, how to do it, how to raise her until like my daughter do hair. She do hair. She great at it. Until you buy some gel, you buy some of the weed she use, until you buy some chairs for it, until you start doing some stuff like that and putting some and helping me out. Other than that, I don't care who you are, judge, magistrate, I don't care who you is. And I
Man,
tell them,
none of y'all
none
none of y'all have jurisdiction.
Oh, what? But they
over-
want it and they use it.
But that's
We allow
because
it.
the parents ain't on the same page. So we can't come in there and make a plan together and say, hey, listen, we sat down, we had a mediator, and we was able to work the schedule out. We was able to get joint schedule, joint custody, also legal custody, joint, right? And we have this laid out plan and when we gonna pick up the children and how we gonna go about medical and schooling and what we gonna teach them. That's a real plan. You gotta understand, these are real children, these are real people. They don't want to see you fighting and arguing and sitting up here trying to do all this extra stuff. Then you got to go to court. Then you got the police involved. They don't want to see that.
Right.
But we so lost and discombobulated. We go, some of our women to go down there and go try and go get the man to get in our business. Are you serious?
Well,
that same person is taking from your babies and then go cause a wedge between you and your co-parent, your other partner.
Yeah.
Come on, women and brothers, man. Listen, brothers, we got to step up. Start showing these women that we care. Stop, listen, you ain't got to be with them. I'm just saying, I'm going to be perfectly clear. You don't got to be with them, but we do want to build strong families. If you ain't going to be with that woman, let that woman go, but then also try to treat her with respect because your children watching. Even though I can't stand my children's mother. You know I don't. To be honest with you, when my daughter, when my daughter or my son is around, and we all around each other, it's nothing but respect. Cause I want my son to respect women. And he gonna watch me how I interact, especially with his mother, right? And then women, you don't want to go ahead and chastise your children's father because you upset with him. You don't want to, cause a wedge between him and his children because one day you're gonna be calling on that brother. It's gonna be a time when you can't probably deal with him, or you want to go on a vacation, or you just want to get out the way. I need some time to myself. I got you. That's why I'm here.
Well,
right?
It's deep. That's another rooted issue that we have to work with in our community because they done did by design.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was gonna go, man. You made a point. By design, they made the black man look invaluable to the family. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to the government replaced the black man. Yes. We could feed you, we could give you health care. That was our job. That was our job to provide health care, food, shelter. The government saying I can do all that. You don't need him. Yeah. I can do all that for you.
I remember my pops being in the house, and then when the people came, them brother was out the back door somewhere. I ain't seen him for weeks, right? And you know what I'm saying? Never knew what happened. I just knew he wasn't here no more, right? It became a common thread. Okay, we got somebody up here talking. That's because Michigan attorneys have a conflict of interest. They represent the state. Their law degree is through the Michigan Bar Association. It's always that. You're absolutely right. That group. The thing is this: they don't we got to invest in the people, not in these systems, not in these associations. We got to really invest in the people. We got to invest in man. We got to invest in women. We got to make sure women are able to stand up and be solid, right?
Rico.
We got to. Yeah, okay. They talking that talk. I like the judicial. We got to stand up. But I'm going back to.
Go ahead.
We have to make sure that we invest into our constituents, into our citizens, right? The only way that we gonna become of ourselves, right? And this is at the Maslow hierarchy of life. We got to meet our basic needs, right? Yeah. Our basic needs is eating, clothing, somewhere to stay, those type of things, right? Right? It's important, right? So once I got those things straight, now I can go to the next phase, which is education, employment, right? Career rise, right? After I'm able to conquer and be educated, because remember, education is the key to everything. We have to put emphasis on education. We have to go ahead and put emphasis on
what education? Which education we speak? When we talk about education,
I ain't talking about
When
the
you
public
say,
school education.
okay.
You see where that got us.
Yeah.
Listen, man, we burnt them books to stay warm at Whittier.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like real
Okay.
education in the community, how to feed ourselves,
Okay, there
right?
you
You know,
go,
because
there
they
you
talk
go.
about
Because
the food
that's what-
structure.
yeah,
They talk some real stuff.
Yeah,
tonight. They ain't
because
talking
these
about-
arguments I have with people, they get to talking about the education. I always try to remind them. I said, well, you go back and realize who created the public system. One a black man. Created public schools education. One of the black men, there's a reason why, you know what I'm saying, a white man created that. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why they did it the way they did it.
Yeah.
And there was a reason why they even came with diplomas and all. If you remember, if you go all the way back, diplomas and these degrees and stuff started coming because once we got integrated, they had to have another barrier for black men to be like, okay, well, they can get to this level, but they ain't gonna get to this level. They get to this level, we ain't gonna let them get to this level. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
right.
but and I try to tell people, I said a lot of us went to school at the times because we was told we couldn't. Because we wanted to show them like, man, we can, because we was told we couldn't. But
we ain't had to do this. We didn't have to do that.
Right.
We had to go. We don't got to prove to them.
Yeah.
We ain't got to prove to these folks that we can do it. Like folks want to be like, we want to be, I'm the first black to do this. I'm the first black to be at this school and graduate with this degree and work in this firm. I'm the only black. I'm breaking barriers. What?
You don't like the barriers?
I'm serious. Everybody looking at you like, man, what are you doing, boy? Breaking barriers. But
what now?
No, that ain't. We could do what else. You ain't doing nothing but acting white. That's what Brother Rob be talking about. But we want to be white. We want to be around. We want to go get some money and move around. By the white folks, we want to go to Lake Finn. We want to build a house on Lake Finn.
But see, we had a thought.
We made
But
it.
We had a thought. There was the thought before. That was the thought that, okay, that the way things would change is if we get in office and get at policies, that we had a thought that way would work. We had that thought. We thought that way would work. But we saw that now that we know that it don't work, we still continue. Why we still continue to try that way? That's what I'm saying.
We halving it. We only like 30% of people are participating in the electoral process, right? We think that we gonna get in position to make a change, right? You may be one person, but then remember, it's a system that keeps this together. So if this system was designed for you not to make it, so even in the Constitution, it doesn't even acknowledge black folks. So when you're talking about man, it's talking about when all men are created equally. It's talking about Caucasian man. Like that's not all men.
So when you start off, again, I think that's a good point to raise because when you start off with the Constitution, let's keep it simple. Because even before then, his name was John Henson. A black man was the president of the colonies. At first, it was the United Confederates of Colonies. It was a black man that was the president at first. That is historically documented. And he was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. So back to what you were saying, DeJuan, all the conversation has to be around, and we must rethink and re-envision ourselves because for 500 years, we have been told and sold a lie. This country has never been and will never be equal to black people, period. So our whole concept, everything we look in the mirror is through a white lens. And again, for us to break that psychological insanity, we must own and we must really, really, really go in hard on these basketball players, football players, rappers, everybody, Jay-Z, everybody got to be called out, man. It's all about it's about 10 toes down. We need our own communities, man, period.
Yeah. Just like how the agents operate in their community.
Yep.
Just like how the agents operate in their community and governing themselves, just like when you talk about even the Mexican community, the Hispanic community, right? They got ways and processes they operating. What we have to do is be on that. Like we do have to have a black agenda. And you know what I'm saying? Like how we dealing with each other, how we govern each other, how we support one another, how we protect one another, and really stand behind that because actually we just out here like leaves in the wind. It's like individual leaves in the wind, not connected to the tree.
And really, our example, again, I don't think it's so much the Asians, the Jews, or any other ethnic group. If we really understand our ancient history and our contemporary history, because we did it before any of them did it. And number one, all of them people are from us. So how you gonna go with the original and you gonna go away from the original? All them people come from us. So we established civilization first. That's a drop the mic right there, brother.
Man, that might roll it in the street right now. I'm just appalled. I'm appalled. Let's look at our local government.
Putting them up. I said some stuff on Facebook. They kicked me off the book. I'm trying to pull it back up. I had a lot of stuff that came across. I said stuff about the COVID and all type of stuff. They don't like me no more. But yeah, Brother Robert, you're right about our entertainers and our athletes and all these things. We have to, even them, we have to require that we are holding them accountable. We got to require that they change the things that they're doing, like the music for them. You got to require that the music that change. Like only thing we continue to push what they wanted us to push for the longest. The gangster rap, the lewdness in it, the profane of it, how profane it is, the triflingness of it, like how we do our sisters, the way we talk about them, the way we speak about them. You can't speak about white women like that. They get at you about that. You notice they don't do that in none of the songs. They don't speak about white women like that because they don't allow it.
All our music, if our music gonna reflect anything, talk about the social issues we dealing with.
Exactly. That's where it's supposed to go. But then when you got people act like, well, what it is for a lot of black folks, all they gotta do is dangle a couple dollars in front of your face. And then you forget about all your morals, all your principles, all your people, all the people you say you love and care for. You forget about all of that. You know what I'm saying? But then even when you bring truth to the light, and people still don't want it, to hear. So like I told them, I did research, and people, you can find this yourself. There was a meeting in the early 90s. I love bringing this up because I want people to know, when it come to the music, how that is even being used to destroy our communities. So in the 90s, there was a meeting in the early 90s. And if you know, a lot of the big companies, production companies was a lot of people from London and England and stuff like that. You had some over in America. We talking the higher ups, you know what I'm saying? And so owners and stuff like that. And so they wanted to have a meeting, and the theme of the meeting was the direction of hip hop. And so you had a lot of these guys that were saying they weren't going to the meeting because they like, well, hip hop ain't gonna be popular. Hip hop ain't popular like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fad. It's gonna be here for a couple of years and it's going away. And they said they ain't see no money in it. And so they said reluctantly, a lot of them still came to the meeting. And so at the meeting, those that held the meeting let them know, like, nah, it really ain't about the music. It ain't about the music. All we saying is stop. There was basically their mandate at that time in the music industry was we no longer give out contracts to conscious rappers and those that are rapping about things in the community. We want the gangster rap. We want anything rapping about the streets. And still you have people like, well, that ain't still that big of a deal to me. Like, we still don't want to be aligned to it, right? Still don't care too much, but ain't no money in it. So he let them know, like, nah, the money is not in the music. The money is in the privatization of the prison system. And like, the bed's gonna get filled, but the only way we're gonna fill them, we gotta continue to feed the mind to let the people know that, okay, run the street, sell drugs, do this, do that, so we can fill these beds up. And that's what they sold into. And so that's what we seeing now. So everybody that's at the top, everybody you hear the most, the songs, the people you get the most spins, the most plays, what are they talking about? Opposite.
You're talking about drugs.
Yeah.
They're talking about
killing each other, killing our brothers
into your community.
Yeah.
They're talking about slapping your women and disrespecting your lady. Taking your lady and sleeping with your lady, and you my man's, right? Yeah. They talking about just going ahead and continue to just be a demise.
And killing each other and kill each other. So we have to require, we have to demand that change. We have to get to them to understand, like, look, speaking,
Yes.
change your message.
Stop
Change your
speaking- Stop
message.
speaking deaf in the neighborhood.
Change your message. And if not, we shut you down.
Yeah.
Because if not, and if you don't change your message, then you a sellout. You selling us out. You are a cold blood. You just selling us out.
Mhm.
If you refuse to change your message. If your message is still where you talking about killing each other in the communities, what you gonna do to the brothers in the communities? You degrading our women and things like that, and you just a sellout.
Mhm.
And it's sad because your morals can be bought and continue to be bought. And you get a lot of them to tell you, man, well, I ain't I never said I was what they call them, when you look up to somebody.
Role model.
Role models. I don't want to be role models. But to whom much is given, much is expected. You got his platform. You don't have no choice now. If you don't want to be no role model, step down off the platform.
Right.
But we have to be willing and able to go to these people and let them know, like, look, if you're not gonna change what you're doing, we're gonna have to shut you down, brother. Or sister, if you're not gonna change what you're doing, because you can't continue to keep feeding this to our kids. Because we know it's garbage. We know what it's leading to. Oh yeah.
Brother Roberts, he want to do his own.
History investor. All right. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna transition into one of our profound pieces on this show. And this year we're gonna have some phenomenal segments. We actually working on some special pieces for this show. And so if you give us some time and continue to keep working with us, I guarantee you we'll have something strong content with substance. At this time, we want to transition to Naeem Roberts with History Impact.
Yes. Again, this is another installment of Black Lives Matter Flint. Again, direct impact, where we are dealing with some historical information. Today, we're going to be talking about the real Middle Passage, guys. A lot of times people have got it kind of mixed up dealing with the Middle Passage. The real Middle Passage, guys, took place, and it was through sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East. More slaves were transported in the most horrendous and horrific type of way than can be imaginable. And again, that's a deep dive into our real history, because a lot of times we talk about the transatlantic slave. This started back in the early 700s to the 21st century. And it started with the Arab slave trades, actually, guys, because what the Arabs were doing, even before the Europeans, guys, they were going up into a lot of those African countries, and they were enslaving a lot of those different African people, and they were looking for different types of African people, especially from the different, from when you're dealing about Namibia, up in Kenya, Nairobi, and up in those areas. A lot of the women are dark with fine features, guys, and very beautiful. And so they were very selective about the different types of African our brothers and sisters that they chose to exploit and export. And again, that's something that a lot of us don't really realize. And we spend our money with these Arab people, and they are diametrically opposed to our existence. And again, when you do a deep dive in their behavior, it is appalling what they have done to Black people, along with castrating them. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of boys and men they castrated to use in their harems and their homes. And they even would have children and have Black boys enslaved, that when an Arab person of wealth had a child, that child would be partnered with a slave that would be raised right alongside of him for the rest of his life. And that slave boy would identify with that Arab master and give his life for that Arab, to protect that Arab child. So again, it's amazing how you think about how all this is connected, and we talk a lot about history. That's why our history is so important. When we really, really study it and continue to read through all of the information that has been denied us in different cultures, because it's there. All we have to do is penetrate it and really do a deep dive. So again, they were engaged in, when you think about breeding and all kind of insidious behavior, from castration to, as I said, eunuchs, they became eunuchs. And all this had been done in the light of day. And people all along dealing with a lot of those kings and those tribal kings and all those different people, they didn't know exactly what was taking place, but they were so engulfed in a lot of the trinkets and all these other kind of pompous behavior that they somewhat didn't even respect, which we are doing today. You guys, we can see. That's why history is so important. We can see right now what's going on with us today, what has happened in the past. Because when you think about the 14th, the early 12th century, when they first saw the first incursion of those Europeans, they should have put them to death. Because again, even when you think about someone that's looking a little like you, and you thinking that's your brother, and what they are doing to enslave and to put us in bondage, which the Arab community truly have done. So again, this information, guys, is relatively available to us. And a lot of times we need to really listen and be engaged more often in our understanding. So again, the real middle passage is not what we think about as far as the transatlantic slave. Again, a lot of what has taken place really started in the 700s along to the 21st century, and it was the Arabs was at the foundation of it. This was another installment of your Black Lives Matter History Impact. I'm your host, Brother Hubert Naeem Roberts. Again, I'm the chairman of Black Lives Matter Flint. You can reach me at 810-394-4105, mentorroberts@gmail.com. We are engaged in some wonderful things down at Black Lives Matter Flint, 2712 North Saginaw. We asked our community to stop being afraid of being Black. Please come out and volunteer and be about leaving a legacy, because you are definitely going to die. At least die for something and not just to be stripping or partying and BNS. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Hey, Mick, I can't hear nothing.
I got you, my bad. Go ahead.
Can you hear us now, Brother Robert?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Yeah, man, definitely. That was another segment from Brother Naeem Roberts, bringing us just that history impact, just bringing that segment, just talking about, history components and where we are as people, but then also, man, where we need to go. Like, we got to get out this servitude attitude and just feeling like, we just at the bottom. We got to be savages. That's never been us, right? A lot of times folks say these different names, like I know we just mentioned King and all these different movements, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. You really got to understand what they were dealing with, but then also what they wanted to accomplish during those times. And they was in different eras. Like King and X was in the era, Garvey was in another era, and we in this era today. If you look at us over the past 400-500 years, man, we still fighting about the same stuff.
Same stuff.
And we talk this conversations, man. I just seen a YouTube video of King and all these other folks talking about the same stuff we talking about today. That should tell you a lot about our progress. Yeah, we know that they don't want to change the system, especially folks who've been benefiting from a long time. That's like taking a plantation from a plantation master.
Right.
It's gonna alter his lifestyle. And they like, man, I don't know if I can do that. They be the same liberals. They be right with you at the march. You start talking about, turn over your assets. Yeah, it's about a trick. You said what? I'm gonna go pack up. You got brothers like Isaiah looking down at the community foundation, watching us fighting with the police.
Right.
He calling back reinforcement on him. What we did. Dog calling more police on us. I'm just saying, this is where we be at. And then while we look at all this stuff play out, right? They got the nerve to do a history component series.
Ain't that something?
but ain't stepped foot in the neighborhood trying to see what's going on with Black Lives, ain't trying to see what's going on, how they can help. These brothers is in position and maybe can kind of help support some of these initiatives. They ain't thinking about that stuff.
Nope.
They trying to get down there, hang out with Ruth Mott, sit down at the table, you know what I'm saying, and get spoon fed. Right?
They want to be white.
They just want to be white. They living out there with the white folks, being all about the white folks, then come over here and talk about some rap like they down for the culture. Y'all got to be more big. Y'all got to be more deeper than this. You cannot let yourself get played like this. When do you say enough is enough? When do you say I'm gonna stop playing with myself because I'm not even gonna get played no more? You wonder why I fell out of that nonprofit sector? You wonder why I just stopped dealing with that stuff? It's all about data and numbers, telling a story. And sometimes I'm true. But we want to sit up there and be engaged with that stuff and act like we doing something. Yeah, look at me. I'm at the table. I'm with the folks, right? I'm down here. I'm a program officer, right? I'm getting to it. I'm changing my community. You'll never see them people in your neighborhood again. And then you want to sit up here and talk how much they help in this community, how much you support that, right? You don't even know the real background stories of this stuff. Now I support him, the grandfather McCree. Floyd McCree, straight soldier. I respect him. The man was willing to come down from his mayoralship to join the people in the street. That's real leadership. Do you think anybody else, offsprings or whatever, feel that type of energy? It always be a strong. It always be a strong one, right? And then the kids be a little soft. The kid, grandkid, everybody soft after that, right? Just until they lose their position and maybe get back in the mud, and then somebody else rise up again, maybe from the leaders, right? But always that first generation got to be super strong. Always transition that information down so you don't lose that edge.
I mean, realize when they what they do is by design they just gonna keep taking and taking and taking and taking more. Because they ain't nothing going on, just taking and taking more. And evidence of it. I'm born and raised north side, north side of Flint, right? I remember seeing what it looked like in the late '80s, early '90s, and things like that. How it looked. I remember what it looked like before I left in 2006. And then seeing what it looked like coming home in 2020, seeing how the north side looked, and it looked like two different worlds, traveling through two different worlds. And so you keep, what they gonna do, they just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. Then they start uprooting people. They don't want you to have ownership, so we build apartment buildings. So they start uprooting you, put you in these apartment buildings so you don't own nothing. So anytime we change our mind on what we want to do in this area, we can uproot you again. Pack your stuff, get up and get up out of here because we need this area now. And continue for that control. It's continue to have that continued control. And we ain't doing nothing. We don't care. We don't care nothing about it. But like I say,
no, we might make a call. We might as well get the scheming too.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
We might as well. We might as well get the scheming too. I'm just being honest. If you want to go ahead and play these games, you want to play like this, you got to beat them at their own game. You got to change the game. You can't sit up here and play by the opposition rule. That's like trying to win a game when the game is fixed against you.
Already.
You're just not gonna win. This is designed to be able to put you in a frustrated state of mind, make you feel like you're getting small wins, but never really truly actually get over.
No.
That's what we be. We get to this point. I got to laugh at you Democrats down there, man. Even you black ones, right? I got to laugh at y'all for being out there, sitting up there and not letting this voting bill pass. This is just comical. You got the Joe Manchins and the cinemas that's out here just playing with you. These are Dixiecrats playing in your face. Got you all wound it up. Like, yeah, I'm on your side with the D. Whole time I'm counter organizing against you.
Yeah, let you have.
But we cool with that. We ain't even calling out. We cool with that, right? Okay, we didn't get the vote bill passed. Black people still got to recertify every 25 years to be able to be eligible to vote.
Right.
I don't know who to fool. The folks who not trying to pass the bill or us.
Yeah. Why
are we sitting up here playing like this though? Why are we sitting up here think that this type of stuff is tolerable?
We still asking for reparations.
Instead of demanding.
We still asking, please, man, give us some money, give us something, give us 40 acres and a mule. Please. They already let you know they're not gonna give you a dime. Biden words, what was Biden words? Was if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Remember everybody say that? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. What did he do when he got an order?
The same clown that prepared the crime bill, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now he telling you if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Mass incarceration behind this man, bro.
Man, I'm talking about all these guys. Listen,
Mass incarceration because of that.
The thing about Trump, at least Trump was real, right? You know what I'm saying? If you gonna just do me dirty, I'd rather you look me in my eye and tell me as a man, I'm gonna do you dirty, right? And at least I can see it coming, right? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, people play on you. You sit up here and do you all type of ways,
smile in your face,
plan to strategize on your failures, right? And continue to keep looking at you like, keep voting though. Don't worry about it. One day we're gonna get it together. Maybe not these 4 years, but we're gonna get it together one day.
Give me another 4 years.
Give me another 4 years.
The next 4 years, I got y'all.
Next 4 years,
I got
okay.
y'all.
Maybe the later half of that. Maybe the last 2 years of that 4 next time I might get with you.
Listen. The call to the city and to the community is for everybody. One, wake up, man. Wake up. They're not gonna give us nothing. They don't have a plan to give us nothing. They don't have it's nothing that where they planning like, okay, this is what we gonna do for the community of Flint. This is what we gonna do to help these people, the school system. This is what we gonna do for mental health for the young kids that done got poison where their minds messed up. Now, this is what we gonna do. It's enough money to have mental health people in the schools, but y'all don't shut all the schools down. But y'all don't have, there's no plan, y'all. We're nowhere in the planning. We're nowhere in that. There's money there, but there is nowhere in the plan to spend it with us. So we have to, at some point we have to wake up. But here's the thing though, I'm tired of the conversation. I'm getting tired of the conversation, asking y'all to wake up. I was telling you earlier what I tell you. I said, when you call, it's a call right now. When you call somebody, the phone ring only so many times. And then if don't nobody answer the call, it stop ringing. It just stop ringing. Now, how many times do we got to keep calling you back? And you just not answering the phone? I don't do that.
Remember that?
I will block your number. I don't have to call you no more. I'm not gonna keep calling out for the city to wake up. You don't wake up, I'm gonna do what I gotta do for the city as long as I'm staying. You know what I'm saying? But the call is for everybody to be in the same
Remember this, not to go off subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you shoot at the king, make sure y'all get him. Because you see what happened to Maurice Davis, don't y'all?
Who?
Your guy, right here.
Wow.
Y'all don't see this?
They burnt this shit down?
They towing this shit.
On the bus.
So who?
Maurice. When you take a shot at the king.
Over your boys.
What you talking about? What he do?
What you talking about? I couldn't hear you.
No, he lead them to the people over there was towing this stuff. When you take a shot at the king.
They talking about
When you take a shot at the king.
I thought he doing
Hey,
that.
the city was over there at 12 o'clock. The city was there at 12 o'clock. That was about noon.
You see what I just said?
I rode past there and I seen the city had it blocked off like a city truck.
They took his van over
Listen,
there.
man,
When was this?
today.
Today.
When you take a shot at the king, baby, you better make sure you hit. Because if you miss,
They're saying that black folks, this black folks doing the black folks. Let's just let that be known. If we talking about a black man doing to another black man. Just let that be known.
I ain't tripping about David because he should have never did that bull crap in the first
no, all I'm saying is when you take a shot at the king, see, this will happen when you take your shot and you ain't in that position no more on that council. You see, that's what I'm just saying. When you take your shot at the king, you better make sure
that's because
you better make it count. Right?
Yeah, but so stop the line.
You better be a sharpshooter about this. You better make sure you pick them all the way.
So we can't do him how they did here. Make a special rule, some special shit to get his ass up out of there. It's a way to get him up out of there.
We are.
It's a way to get him
the people. We voted them in. They work for us. We supposed to get fired. Just like they interviewed with us as they knocked on the door. The campaign is their interview. You see what I'm saying? So these people neatly interview for a position and we hire them. We forget that we can fire this nigga. We put him in a seat.
It's a truck coming to pick it up.
Yeah.
And he filming it?
Yeah. Listen,
He out of bounds.
when you shoot at the
That's the
king,
ambulance
baby.
chaser, though. Ain't he the ambulance chaser?
No, he just put it on his pad. Who was that?
Come on, Woodson.
Woodson,
No, he
the
just put it-
ambulance chaser. He chased ambulances.
Right, he just put it on his page.
Woodson driving the
No,
Woodson not driving.
truck. Oh my God.
Woodson ain't, that ain't, Woodson told him, that ain't what, he ain't doing. That ain't
He
all
said it on his page.
Arthur doing.
You told him.
No, he put it on his
He just said it on his
I
page.
think he gonna do that. I ain't gonna see it.
Hey, I would have been down to go tow the truck though. I'm just saying. That brother sold us out last year. So you got to pay for that though, man. Listen, I don't feel no empathy for that. When you was running around with the Republicans playing the guitar when Trump and Pence came in, listen, you done. Throw all that stuff out of there, right? You gone. I heard he died in Miami right now doing that.
For a blues concert, right?
Get out of here. Listen, because that ain't the type. Anybody on council right now, that should serve as a reminder.
That you ain't
You sit up there and
nobody.
play with people, people will come and get you, right? That's what happened. So I don't feel no empathy for that. Clean that stuff up, man.
But it's still, it's upsetting that
You
it's,
take a shot at the king.
yeah, but it's upsetting that it's brother, it's again a brother against brothers. It's us against
Neely
us.
ain't no brother. Just look at it, man. The brother is clear. He's not even like.
Well, answer this question. Answer this question for me then.
Dog is clear.
How do you feel about Quincy then?
Quincy. How I feel about Quincy? Let me look in the camera and say this. Quincy. I know you're trying to make Neely look good.
Quincy calling you now.
Quincy calling you now.
No,
He out there.
I'm messing with you.
Quincy, I know you're at Bunch Park right now watching the Fli-City blackout, right? Outside. Here, look at this. Quincy. We need real stand-up folks in this community. Trying to make somebody look good who can't look good is not gonna work. I know you changed your tune last night and said you're trying to make the citizens look good. But that bull crap you and Eric was on last night was garbage, right?
I'm putting it up on that for you.
Listen, Quincy and Eric, that nonsense y'all was on was garbage, right? Quincy just don't like Eric. Eric don't like Quincy. But at the same time, you should be able to sit at the table and say, hey, listen, man, I might not like you and you don't like me, right? We come from different backgrounds. But at the end of the day, we got something in common. We got to do for the people.
Yeah,
and if you trying to make somebody else look good, then you already failed, right? You got in that seat not to be just dragging ass, right? I much prefer you to be cleaning up the parks rather than making decisions for the people in the third ward. But to be honest with you, since you there, don't sit up here and waste our time. See, we gotta pull up on them. We ain't doing it.
Brendan say walked out. Quincy.
Yeah, he walked out.
He walked out tonight. Did he slide out? Did he walk out?
No, him and Tanya checked him on. Listen, man. I was in here watching it, man. I said, him and Tanya got into it because he called himself trying to check Tanya for the administration. When she said that she had been talking, but they ain't said no stuff, she was trying to tell him he could have did it in private without even knowing. So, Eric let her, she read,
okay,
she went on one
Tanya
side.
be faking and shaking too, so I can't take that as gold. But the thing is this though, Quincy, you ain't answer my question. Did he slide out or did he walk out?
No, I turned it off. Then we all went off.
Boy,
Eric probably, I'm telling you, Tanya was digging in him, then Eric went, and that's when I cut it off. Put y'all on.
Okay.
Man,
Eric, man, too, man. Eric, listen, man. I know you in the captain seat right now, right? It ain't about feeling yourself. It ain't about popping the shoulders and trying to do all that. Listen, man, you want to be mindful and visionary about moving this initiative forward. You're in the seat. Now make it count. Now, other folks on council right now, right? We've been hearing different disparaging things, right? Allie Hankenrod. Is that what you call it? Hokenroder.
I don't even know how she got voted with that
Black
last
people.
name. I'm confused.
Black people, even in the 7th, stop allowing yourself to be played by no good folks who don't care about you. They use you all the time. They always need a good black person with them. Right? How many times have we always seen this same storybook? This is the same playbook. We always
gotta have that token.
You gotta have that token piece.
Talk about Steven, right? From the Django.
Yeah,
you gotta have that token piece with you.
Candyland will always be here. You gotta have them.
Man, do not be that. Do not allow yourself to be that. That's all I'm saying.
And they don't even understand. Like if they ain't gonna never look at you as an equal anyway. You sell us out, and they'll still drag you down. You can't never be their equal.
So
I don't understand. I'm confused.
So how do you feel about the 7th ward? We always ask about the the blacks. How you feel about Allie Hokenroder?
I feel Allie out of place. I don't feel like she should be there. I wish that Monica was very strong and she was about, connected to the people in the 7th Ward and she was continuing to do for the constituent. And I really wish that went differently. But to be honest with you, you got to do the work. So if you don't do the work, people gonna switch on you. People gonna change on you. You can't just, in these positions that you in, if you're in position, you got to always show up. It can't never be a day off or your time is up, right? So while you got the flow, it's just like when you own, like you in the game, you own, right? If you own, you own, right? You roll and you supposed to secure. If you don't continue to show up, you don't continue to be there, you don't continue to do for the constituents or the people who brought you to the party, then you won't be there.
Right.
And that's what happened to Monica. Monica thought everything was good. Monica really thought that, she had it in the bag. And then we had a conversation about doing some things and it didn't come to fruition. We have to follow through on what we believe in. We have to follow through and work with people who believe in us. Because if we don't, that could be your last time visiting that party. And now the people in the 7th, you got folks like Phil Schultz and you got folks that's over in the 7th Ward that put Allie in this way, brought her into this position or really, helped fund the way. And they got the seat. So now when you got a person of color, just like people coming in here who getting these employment opportunities, she deeming everybody unqualified. Y'all got to stop being.
But is that bad?
And then even our own black folks even ride with it. I like, and I'm gonna just speak on even in the second. Liddell Lewis, right? She's getting some small wins, right? I love Sister Audrey. That's my day one. I'm a very loyal person, so I rock with the team. But Liddell, I don't got a problem with Liddell. I think Liddell could be an asset, right?
What she do? What else she doing? I just need to know some of these wins. What she?
I think she got a stoplight bulb change. Maybe
she changed the stoplight.
I want to say something like that. Maybe added in.
She changed the bulb.
Maybe got the lawn cut over there. Sorry, I'm not sure. To be honest with you,
the stoplight on Stewart and Clare Road.
Okay, yeah.
The light was out. She got that. That's what she did so far.
Okay. So listen, when you got people like that, don't allow yourself to get played. Don't allow yourself to get played by people who do not have your best interest. That's the one thing that you can lose. One thing for sure, the people that, that really care and that really love me and that I'll be around, and people that I really love, I die on my feet for them. And I wouldn't even sit up here, whatever went down with us, man, take all that to the grave, right? That's a real. I would never turn on folks that I believe and trust in, and that we got that same companionship for each other. So I respect folks who keep it loyal, right? So if you got somebody that, that put you in position, man, you always want to show them love. You always want to make sure that, there's no needs and no wants. You want to do those things. I respect that. But at the same time, you got to make it make sense. You got to go ahead and even if that person is taking you away from your responsibilities or the constituents that put you in there, you have to go ahead and be clear with that person and say, hey, these folks voted me in. I know that you may have funded my campaign. So it's some understanding with you, but at the same time, I'm beholden to these people. And we don't got enough of that. It's all nepotism.
We don't have no.
Just look at Neely and Murdoch, right? You know what I'm saying? Neely hired Murdoch, which you know what I'm saying? That's your people. That's your brother-in-law. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You put the family on. Yeah, I can respect that. But the thing is, man, if you don't put the right people in qualified positions, they'll take you down to you.
But this is the question I got for you. Like you said, how can he be with Allie Hokenroder?
Mm-hmm.
Even Judy Priestley.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the black girl he sent up there to be a part of his team?
Neely?
Yeah.
He hired, you talking about from the DDA?
Yeah.
The young sister.
That they said didn't have enough qualifications,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He sent them up there, right? That's a kick in his face.
You hear that? Neely, they kicking you in your face, man. They don't even think the sister qualified. And I know you have, you gave it an opportunity. With even the folks that you supporting on council, go stick with their own. I mean, that should tell you something yourself, right?
All the time.
Try to put people in position like Neely. Let me talk to Neely for a minute. Neely, you're in position, right? I don't know for how long, but you're in position. This was the time for you to really shine. You could have proved the naysayers wrong. But when you continuously be what we not need in this community, it's become apparent.
Ballinger, a reflection of his office, wrinkled, sloppy, and messy.
Yeah. Just look at the 6th Ward. The man has been every position that can be in this community. He was a delegate, he was a council person, state rep, now he's the mayor. And I still don't think he qualified, right? I'm saying you can go through all these different channels and still not be effective. You ever seen somebody who was always in position but ain't did nothing? Like, man, how's this person getting these positions? How's this person getting this job? And they never do nothing.
Well, I mean,
they never complete anything.
It's a you know, they aspire for these positions. It's not because their mind and heart is like, okay, I want to be in this position to help.
Yeah,
it's just the thing to be able to say, look what I did, what I'm able to do.
My resume.
You know what I'm saying? And how can I get paid? How can I get paid? They getting paid too. How can I get paid? They want to be a part of all this money because it's money that come through the city. It's money that come through. They got their money here. But everybody want to have their hands on it and wanted to go out how they wanted to go out. Yeah. So these people they have nothing to do with the community. Neither need to be fired. We just got to fire him. I think that the community forget that, you know, like I was just saying earlier, he campaigned, he put in his resume. You know what I'm saying? He interviewed for the job. People hired him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
he ain't do the job. He ain't doing the job you hired him to do.
No, he hired that guy from the county that they fired and paid him more when he brought him on the Flint side.
But you see,
but he was white.
Neely hiring all the folks. Neely hiring all the undesirables. He hired all the undesirables around his team. You should look at a person's turnover rate, right? Look at all the people, man, that left that position. When the ship go down, you don't want to be caught on that mud. You know, when you know, people got to say their career, listen, I got other stuff to do. I'm young. My trajectory is going up. I got to go ahead and go someplace. So I don't want to ride this ship to the mud with you, right? So people start jumping off. Like, all those people that helped Neely get in office is no longer around. They got a problem with him. Why? Because he lied to y'all. I could have told you that. But the fact of the matter is, folks believe in that stuff. Now you want to be mad and talk crap on Facebook, right? And I know I talk crap about him, but the thing is, I didn't vote for him. Nor did I support him now. So I'm going to talk, and you're a public figure, so I'm going to say what's necessary as a concerned constituent. I'm going to say what's necessary. I'm going to say and speak truth. Neely, you're doing a terrible job. You know, we got these funds that came in. You hired the CFO. Then you hired some people to watch the CFO on top of that. Right? What are we doing? We paying for stuff like this?
Anything to keep it from going to this community, bro. That's all that is.
You could have gave me $1 million. I would have watched that money right there. I would have made sure they spent it right.
I'm going to give you a better one. Did you know that the compliance company, remember they have been promoting that they was going to have had the compliance company do the meetings with them? Allie Holcomb wrote and thought she was so smart. Like, you know what the compliance company said, don't you? Right before Eric went to that thing. Didn't know 30 minutes before, it might have been 45 minutes before the meeting was finna end.
Did she do that situation in Brennan, at the Brennan? I know my people called me and said you're supposed to pull up at the Brennan. You know, 7th Ward is where I come up at. So they called and said you're supposed to do that meet and greet or whatever conversation at the Brennan, right? Allie, next time you want to check in, right? Be coming to my sector without coming in and talking and making sure it's cool with us. Because otherwise we'll shut that down. You don't know me, right?
That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to go.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You going out there putting up those smoke and mirrors, acting like you care about the community. You trying to set stuff up, man. We know what you really about.
Friends,
don't let it happen.
Brenda Boy said your friends voted for him.
My friends voted for him. Voted for Neely. Voted for who?
Voted for Neely. Your friends voted for Neely.
Yeah, I got some fake friends. I bet they did. I know some fake friends. Yeah, people smiling in your face, right? Stabbing you in the back the whole time. Yeah, I got all type of fake friends all around me. That's why I don't be tripping about none of this stuff. I know they boys wrap me up and kill me and throw me out the way. I know what time it is. To be honest, right? But
she said winters in Florida.
Now my real homies ain't gonna do that, right? They're 10 toes, or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? But them folks in Flint Politics page,
She said,
you know, they made my brain.
she said the trolls on Flint Politics removed.
Flint Politics is not my friends, right? I don't even be over there to reboot all that. We rebooted all that, rebooted again.
Have you looked in there? Have you looked in there?
I ain't got time
No, I'm just saying. Have you
know what?
looked
I
in there?
got something special with Flint Politics.
No, I get you, but they having a damn near revolt over there. You got the whites mad with them. The whites, listen.
They mad at what?
At the blacks.
Oh, good. I might sign with the whites over now.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? What the heck? We already knew that, though. We knew that we knew that them clowns in Flint Politics, y'all just disgust me, right? It just blatant. I got people all around the country that look at that stuff and they laugh.
Yeah.
You got people that laugh at this stuff, man.
Yeah,
They think it's a joke. They think we
come to live and start.
Y'all want to be cool with that.
Did you notice they good? The whites over in that Flint Politics group. Hey, but I know you. There ain't no problem with you being white, Brandon Boyd. But I'm saying over there, did you see how they?
Brandon Boyd, good.
But you see how they be mad? The whites get mad when the blacks criticize evil word.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. The whites be mad. It's all right. And I see why A Flo catching problems because she be sitting there. And I hate to say this, but she be on her Steve and she trying to justify what
y'all be looking like a bunch of Uncle Ruckus.
Because she tried to justify Eva giving her Eva might have didn't do it, but if you shared it when they were sharing Art the address and all the time, stuff.
Yeah.
When they told Art said politically when he said she straight out said it's harassment. You got Quincy said he bullying her. I'm like, damn, like
they standing up for her. But when the sister get beat on, and when the sister get ragged on, they throwing sister information out there, or brother, right? They ain't saying nothing. Right. They just silent. This them Twitter fingers. They sit up there, Quincy. Quincy probably looking up some stuff he ain't got no business looking up.
Right? I wonder how they gonna like Quincy today after how he went at Tanya. Is they gonna go at him like Eric went when Eric go at a woman? Is they gonna be mad at Quincy or is it a double standard?
It's a double standard for sure. Now let's get back on this Flint politics and when you talk about look how the white folks be on code. That's one thing I respect about them, man. They be on point, man. They don't care if they beefed out, different aisles, side of the aisles. We're gonna stick together.
They gonna push their agenda. Gonna get pushed. Yeah. They got an agenda, they gonna still push their agenda.
But then when you look at us, we can't even get on one accord. We in there sitting up here supporting some white supremacy stuff. Right? Yes. And then got the nerve to sit up here and try to defend it and everything in this community.
Yeah.
But everybody looking at you like, are you crazy? Are you freaking stupid?
If I had
you got to be retarded.
I want her A Flo face up there on that Steven at the Django for Eva.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, listen, until we start really holding them accountable, dragging them through the mud, shaming them through the streets, and stuff gonna continue on. And to be honest with you, you know what? I'm so immune to it. It's sickening. It's disgusting. That I can't even sit up here and bear it, right? So let them white folks, let them feel like that about you. Let them be on one side and support that, right? And they cheer you on. They like it when you sit up here and talk down about your brother and sister. They loving that. Oh, love commenting. Oh, yeah. That's just like the white folks in the Black Lives Matter page. Motherfuckers don't never come out until somebody say something about some stuff that you know what I'm talking about. Y'all never see none of y'all. I don't even know you on the page. Never knew you existed. But as soon as you start talking about some real stuff in this community, start talking about some black and white issues, oh, here they come. Oh, it's divisive. And then you got random folks like Andy Cross. Like, get your silly stuff out here. I can name all y'all out here. Y'all look so ridiculous. Shut up. Shut up. I'm coming on like that. Shut your mouth, right? And if you don't like what I say, then you come up here and you come see me and you tell me about it. Don't sit up there, come on Facebook. Don't come on live. Don't come on there comment on that stuff. Because when I see you, it's on TV. And then that's what's up. Let me hear what you're talking about. What's going on, right? Let me really feel your energy, that heat that you got going on.
Right.
Sit y'all asses down.
Well, Becky Brown said, hey, y'all forgot about me. I went to Facebook jail because of the Yee comment.
Becky, what's up, Becky?
Well, she spoke on Kanye West about like Kim Kardashian.
Oh yeah. They was
Yeah,
that same white folks come out of nowhere, and I'm talking about ain't about no Kanye and Kim. I don't care about that mess. I'm talking about how they acted like kids when they got kids.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. You can't come to the birthday party. Well, I'm gonna buy a house right across the street from you. Yeah, really, y'all doing this silly stuff? All this money y'all blowing and doing all this random stuff popping up at the different party. Come on, man. We could be using that money. Buying 4 more houses on the same block as this one person. That's ridiculous, right? And then to sit up here and be in the news with that type of stuff, y'all got to be silly. That's what I'm talking about. But you got these feeble-minded people that only want to comment when they come in and see some stuff like that. They ain't said nothing all year. Black folks been murdered, killed in the streets. We ain't got a voting bill passed. You ain't coming on saying that. But you want to come on comment about Kanye. Get out of my face, man. Are you crazy?
That was on your comment.
Yeah. Are you crazy? Are you really digging? Every time I come, you know what I'm saying?
They stay on the wire.
They stay. I be all in there too. Like, my people like, trying to get on. My old head be mad at me. Why are you doing this?
I still
all night, I was like, oh, hell no, I got you.
I still got over when they was mad at you about the Bill Cosby.
Yeah, man, it wasn't even about Bill. I wasn't tripping. I wasn't saying that I condone slipping Mickeys and doing stuff to women like that. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is he made a deal with the prosecutor. The prosecutor wasn't supposed to bring him back on charges, and that showed you how crooked the law is. So they had to let him back out. That's what I'm saying.
Why they mad at the Hollywood dude? Epstein. He out there. None of them have.
They ain't said nothing. They ain't said nothing about Trump. Trump was there too. Bill Clinton, all y'all.
Chris Tucker went to Epstein Mountain where all the
Chris ain't never do no best like that.
He turned down the Friday roll.
He was what?
He turned down the Friday roll because he said he didn't want to be smoking weed, but he went to that.
But he went to the island. Chris Tucker was named.
He went to the Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, they got a lot of people where they named. Yes, he one of the names that came up. Tucker has visited the island. You got people that go to the island. John Travolta, all these white folks. People that's going over there knowing what's over, and knowing you got women over there. I don't know what the island is. He bought it and made a whole.
Not that one.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. He got a whole compound where he got these females over there. He got these women over there.
That's what he was having all them teenage girls. They was raping.
Yeah, he 10 times where R. Kelly is. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about.
And R. Kelly, I don't condone R. Kelly did. He's a sucker too. But look how they shut down. Look how they did.
I was just saying. I was making a point. See, I was trying to make a point.
I might play his music. I might start playing his music to piss him off and that Black Lives Matter.
We gonna play all chapters out the club.
But did you see how they stuff about the White House with Cory Booker said? Because I watched this when he's at the Senate. I don't know why I watched when they debate. But you got your first 12 presidents with slaves owners. Don't they got a bus in them up in the house? They even got Jefferson Davis up in the White House. They even got the Confederate flag up in there.
In the White House, right now.
I'm saying these are all the buses that they got, but
Obama walking by that every day.
Y'all want to down R. Kelly. What the hell you think Andrew Jackson would? Andrew Jackson the one said he feared that it is a God. Knowing what they did, he knows it's a just God.
Because he knew he was immoral. What he was doing was immoral. You cannot do that with a conscious bone in your body to be messing around with underage girls and trying to enslave folks and break up families and molest people. Are you serious? You cannot have a clear conscience or you are sick.
We still hold them as high in the country.
But how y'all think about that?
Forefathers and all that.
How you think about that L on the quarter? They put what's the poet name? I can't think of her name. They put her on the back with the white Angela.
Maya Angelou.
They put her on a what bill?
On a quarter. Is it quarter?
Yeah,
they put her on one side, but guess who on the front? They'll never tell you on the front. one of them races that had slaves.
That's
So
even
though-
Jackson don't
Even Robert Lee, they got Robert Lee on the front.
I think it's Jackson. Man, any of them 12 presidents is racist. But I'm saying,
They give you Robert Lee on the front. Now we celebrate. Yeah, we good. Now. We made it. Now I'm about to go get some
but she on the back. Yeah, on the front. She on the back.
Tails. We had a mass vote for it. Who y'all want? What black women y'all want on the court? Right? Maya Angelou. Okay, spat Robert Lee on the front. We good. Y'all good? Yeah, y'all, we good.
That's like naming the streets Martin Luther King. Have y'all rolled up and down Martin Luther King Street? I want to see how Martin Luther King and other.
I don't even like riding down Martin Luther King Street because I feel like I'm gonna get pulled over. They're gonna think I'm drunk dodging potholes. I'm dodging potholes. They're gonna think I'm drunk. Like he drunk? No, man. The street raggedy, man. Right. And you name this Arthur one of
the police, the state police, the police been out. Oh, I was seeing the cars, but I ain't seen a lot of white people get pulled over. I was watching.
That's why they had to get ahead of that and put that statement out there. MSP put that statement out there. Yeah, man, we arrested more black people. We already knew that, man.
Like it was a new, like we was finna be shocked.
But now the thing is, sometimes they had to put the dirt out before it got out there.
Right.
Now, it was a study going on, and then they know what they've been doing has been validated in our community. We know that y'all pulled over black people. We know that, right? Our thing is, what is you doing about addressing the issue? Don't sit up here and come talk about no report, some stuff that we already knew. Are y'all crazy? And when y'all see state police pulling over folks, y'all need to be pulling up behind them. I just seen somebody the other day. You better be pulling up behind and pull to the side. And let them know, listen, I'm watching for my brother, my sister, making sure nothing go down and making sure that y'all held accountable. And if y'all do some mess, I'm intervening. That's the type of force
that's why I don't have my phone out recording because I don't have time for that. Because if y'all get out of control, I'm not recording and reporting.
Man,
I'm intervening. Somebody else can record and report it. I'm intervening.
Let the news do that. Let the news do that, right?
Somebody else get a chance to do that.
Man, you get busy. That's the thing is get activated. That's the problem. We ain't got a lot of, we need you to do that. Stop sitting up there filming it, put it on Facebook. Y'all kill me. Every time somebody, stop putting somebody dead, stop putting somebody dead family member on the net with that nonsense. Don't nobody want to find out that my people got shot and got killed and it's on Facebook. That's a terrible way to do that. That's that stuff Tanya was doing. Running up on doing a damn crime scene, got the cameras out.
Oh, you must have seen that.
Like he about to do
Check
something.
up on your people.
The new one, did you?
I want to find out.
Check up on your
You just
people.
looking at Facebook and you find out your brother, your child.
That's a terrible way to go about it.
Kobe's wife sued TMZ because of that. Remember, she found that's how she found out.
Yeah.
Don't do those disrespectful stuff like that.
You got it because they put it on. They put it.
This ain't
so she was at home.
Find out like that.
Kobe Bryant
like that. Kobe died.
Right.
Vanessa did that?
Yeah.
No, but she sued the radio station.
So every time somebody do that, make sure you sue them. And
she won. She won that case.
You have to
be too much.
I'm in rare form today. My bad. I'm trying to.
You have to get on them because I've always been upset about the video when we have video of these things because like I was very upset about the George Floyd situation and you got all these brothers standing around with their phones out. They got all the phones out.
There is rapping in the video with you. That's what Chris.
Oh yeah.
So George Floyd, while he's getting choked out, you got people with the video though, and you got people saying, "You killing him! You killing him! Get off him! You killing him!" Well, you notice the man not moving to get off your brother. You know what I'm saying? Well, get him off your brother. Every time I see the video, I'm yelling at him like it's new. Like, man, get him off him, dog. What is y'all doing? Why y'all ain't running to get
Yo, that's when the people when that our problem is we don't want to admit it's racism. That's the whole problem, man. Like that, we need to get one of them good Caucasians from over there in the Flint Politics Reboot on. I would love to interview maybe 2 or 3 of them.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to skim through the membership.
I want them to really say how they feel about blacks because they don't hold it back, and then they will probably wake some of the blacks up over there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all created a group where whites can come down if we tear down each other, like they say, keep it in the house. But when you let an outsider come in and tear down your brother with you just with them.
You just as weak.
Right.
Want to sit up there and like it 7 times.
Yeah. Like even though now she don't want to, she mad because he said politically. Told her like they put up his ex-wife address and did all that.
Yeah.
With Ray Cora Brown, she don't. You know what Aunt Flo said? When you trying to justify, you shouldn't share stuff that they send you. When they put Eric address, she came on city council, said he was losing his house. His house was boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
She took some information she heard from Barbara Moore.
Yeah,
and put that out there. But you got Aunt Flo trying to, next time shouldn't nobody, you shouldn't, share nothing.
Now listen, you shouldn't be playing with people like that. When you talk about, when you putting folks information out there like that, and something come back, because you play with the wrong one. I'm telling you, it could be a problem for you. You put somebody's information out there, I'm telling you.
People only gonna do as much you allow them to do.
No, that make you a mark. You sit up there and do that type of stuff like that. You taking it to a serious game. When you put folks' information out there about their history, their criminal record, you put folks' address.
Put my record out there. I'm showing them back doors.
Man, listen. Trust and believe. Listen, we got all the resources to find anybody and everybody. You play with the right ones, but
But this what y'all gotta remember though. It's different for us. When whites do it, they call, like even trying to say he being bullied. Don't you know them police can take that really up? Will go out. That's what I'm saying.
And then
when
we would shut that down.
Yeah, but I'm just saying when a white woman say that, they need to stop that because I still look at the Emmett Till situation.
Yeah.
They like Bill up for what he did back in the day, but you wouldn't lock her up. See, it's too many. See, we show up at their house, they're gonna look at us like we might get popped by the police. They come there. They gonna throw cases on us, but
we ain't even looking at it like that. No, we pull up just like they put the pressure on Gretchen. Yeah. They put the pressure on Dana Nessel by going to their house.
But
right?
White people don't remember that.
Yeah, I was probably out there too. But listen, the thing is this though.
Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly. You know the rules. Put a tape back. You know the rules. Allegedly.
Remember the first one to get locked up was the black dude that was at that January 6th. They made an example out of his ass.
Man, I think
he wasn't supposed to been there, man.
No, man, he got what he deserved. That's what your fight. Yeah, I'm out of here. Okay, let's we finna wrap it up here in a minute. We got another call, but we got an onboard at 8. Yeah, that brother got what he deserved. He shouldn't have brought his silly stuff out there.
Yeah.
Talking about the brother out there at the January 6th.
Yeah, he's doing time right now.
Yeah, he doing real. He got 3 to 5. He's on probation.
Walked away. He wasn't supposed to have been there. That's the problem. He let one of them brown boys talk to me. Come on, brother. This is all our cause.
This is let's be patriots. All that old stuff. Hey, you take your silly stuff out there. You got voted.
Yeah, he was
the first one too. My man, all in the office, crapping on the wall. Dog, the only one. Dog just walked. I think he just was walking down the hall.
Making himself out of somebody.
We got your ass.
I don't even think Dog knew it was a January 6th going on. I'll just be honest, he was clueless. He looked like he was walking through
high out there. He just don't put on.
He was trying to get some resources.
You might be working today.
He got that 3 meals in the cot now.
Yeah, he definitely got 3 meals in the cot. I'm sorry.
He was trying to get some home aid. He walked into the cabin with this stuff going down. He trying to move. I seen him. He was trying to scoot by. I don't even think he was with the crowd, bro.
Guilty by association.
Before we, there's one thing I want to address before we do go out. One thing I want to address that.
What's up, bro?
And because I got a real heart for those that's doing time and locked up. I got a real heart for them because I know what it is. I know what it's like in there. You know what I'm saying? 13 years of my life, so I know what it's like in there. So when you go back. And I want to speak on the county jail. We got to get back down in there too. Yeah. So we're gonna speak about what's going on in the county jail. Something I was thinking about yesterday. Now you got some guys in there fighting cases that's been in there 3 years, 5 years. You know, I had a homeboy of mine that did 7 years in the county jail. You know what I'm saying? And they looked at him crazy when he was on the yard playing with the grass. He hadn't seen grass or touched grass in 7 years. Yeah. But now, like you don't have no human contact because all the visitation is through video. So there's no human contact. So you got people, and I got a homeboy in there right now whose mother just died. And so he don't even get to have that contact with a family member to be able to console him through his time. And he's going back to do some time in prison. So he don't even have someone down there that can come down and console him through this time. So I just want people to be looking out. I'm gonna find the right date. I'm gonna be going down there. I'm gonna get in front of the county jail. I'm gonna make some noise, man, because we gotta find a way to get some of these guys at least once a month where they can have some type of contact, human contact. That's so important. And the way they doing the guys down there in the county jail right now is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Like I said, you got people in there that don't even have court dates, years out. Court dates is years out. So they just housing them inside a county jail where you don't get no outside yard. Even when you're incarcerated, when you go to prison, you get yard time. You got a yard.
Yeah.
They don't get no outside yard. There's no outside air. There's none of that. There's no contact with no real contact with anyone that's other than a staff member or another inmate. Like that type of stuff mentally, man, can affect you. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, that can affect. Even when you go to the hole, I did a few 6-month stints in the hole. When you go to the hole, they still got to take you for an hour out. You get a chance to go outside.
That's right.
Get you some fresh air. You know what I'm saying? But in here, we got these people, they're not getting none of that. Right. And we just got them just sitting in there, man, just sitting there years and years. So
let me see y'all in Flint politics talk about that. Let me get y'all, let me get all the good white folks to come over down to the county and let's be about some real stuff. Let's get out there and make sure that we fight for our citizens that may be locked down. Let's go ahead and continue to make sure folks are being represented here in Flint with the water crisis. Those settlements are coming down. You want to be able to go ahead and do your claim.
Get your $13.
Go get that.
Get your $13.
Don't get your
$13. Take a kid to McDonald's or something. $13. That's your peace offering.
Right. I'm trying to tell you, man.
The record is clean after
Get you some gas or something, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that, man. We just sit up here. We gonna get gas money. Almost dying out here, but it's all good though, right? Because we cool with it. We good. I'm happy for my $13. I just want to say I'm not ungrateful. Right. I appreciate the $13. Hopefully one of the attorneys let me hold a couple hundred, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they millionaires. They came out millionaires.
They came up millionaires. Now, I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah. Attorneys came up millionaires.
It shows when you really care about people, you know.
Same people show up. Tragedy happened, they show the same faces show up, collect some money. And one of the lead faces is a black man. I'm confused. I'm just saying.
When you really care about people, you always die cold, broken, lonely. Man, that hurt when you hear about that hurt when I think about Malcolm X, man. It hurt when I think about King. It should be a constant reminder that that's how we are as people. Man, something got to change. So I appreciate, man, the conversation today, man. I had always spend the time with y'all as always. We're definitely looking to continue to shake up stuff.
Who was that me in the video?
Chris Callan.
Man, that was me in the video. Go back and watch the video. Matter of fact, look up Ape Soul, Ape Soul. You know what I mean? I'm changing the narrative. Hey, you listen to my music, I ain't talking about no killing, no ops, none of that nonsense. I'm changing the narrative, man. I'm gonna tell the truth about what's going on in the community. I'm gonna tell people the truth about what happens when you live in lifestyles. Because I did that and seen the consequences of it. So I ain't no foolery, no foolishness, none of that. And it's real good music because I'm talented. You feel me? Yeah, get on it.
So man, listen, we appreciate y'all. You know that video up to about 7K.
Yeah, we did that.
Look at that. That's pretty cool, right?
Like we supposed to.
Chris said, "That's what's up." Go ahead and make sure you support what's real for you. Always support those folks that's always fighting for your behalf. That's always on the line for you. That never ask you for a dime. Just be out there really just doing for us. Always remember that, because it's a lonely feeling when you don't have that. So with that being said, we want any last word closing out? How we gonna feel? What we gonna let them go with?
Any last word? What's your last word? I got some last word.
My last word is I'm trying to leave this world better than how I found it. You know, I got.
You said what better? What?
I got children. I'm trying to leave this community and this world better than I found it.
Right.
And this is all in all seriousness. I have children that I'll be leaving behind when my time is up. I have nieces and nephews, little brothers. And I definitely want them to have a better opportunity where, you know, we have to come up here. And I don't want us to be talking about this stuff. I don't want our children, P, to be talking about we fighting for Black lives and they carrying it on in 2045. I just can't see that.
I can't either. I can't
I'm sorry.
see us talking about
I will be
marching
coming
and
back.
voting again.
I will come back as a spirit, I'm telling you, and wreak havoc on everybody who sit up and read about. So real talk, man. I'm calling on the ancestors, please. We need y'all. Ancestors, please save us. We got real folks who really care. Ancestors, please give us this, continue the power and you know, keep us out here mind clear, you know, in good health, to continue to be doing what we're doing. Please. And we appreciate all the sacrifices that y'all made. Trust me, it ain't going back. Because you got folks who really living off of that, believe that. So then you got folks who just playing the game and just faking and shaking. So that's very short lived. So I'm done on my soapbox. I appreciate the opportunity as always.
As you know it, you know it.
We just got to keep chugging ahead, man.
You know it.
And one day we're going to reach the promised land.
That's it.
How they doing? Y'all black out?
We black it out?
So,